So hello guys, welcome to EduTap, and guys, welcome to your another important session for the revision purpose. So I hope you have revised the July month current affairs thoroughly, अच्छी तरह prepare कर लिए होंगे. Now you want to see that how much you have, कि कितना marks कितना retain है आपको. So for that attention purpose, guys, I have the team with me who will be catering you, who will be testing you on the various specific domains. ठीक है, on the various specific topics they will be basically testing you. So first I want to welcome कौशिक सर. ठीक है जी, दिवांशु कौशिक सर. सो कौशिक सर आपको टेस्ट करेंगे आज के सेशन में ऑन द रिपोर्ट्स, ईएसआई एंड जनरल अवेयरनेस क्वेश्चंस. ओके गाइस, एंड देन along with that I want to introduce to you Ekta ma'am. ठीक है, so Ekta ma'am is with us. ठीक है, Ekta ma'am will be testing you on the ARD current affairs. So we know guys, ARD current affairs are very important for your examination, and because NABARD examination is coming really near, ठीक है, तो इसलिए ARD current affairs play a very prominent role. तो ये तो हुई NABARD की बात, but NABARD में there is one very important topic that is important for us, and that's really important for us is your reforms in banking sector and the finance current affairs. For that guys, I want to welcome your sweet ma'am, that is Kritika ma'am with us. Okay, so Kritika ma'am is here. She will be discussing the important questions on the finance current affairs, and that will also be helpful for NABARD examination also. It will not only be like that कि सिर्फ और सिर्फ RBI के लिए important है, it will be important for your NABARD examination also. Okay guys, and I will be basically taking your sessions for I will be taking the lectures for the government schemes. Okay, so I'm seeing one person is saying that there is an issue in video, but guys, you can confirm us about that, whether there is an issue you guys are facing. So then we will start with the session. And guys, the purpose again here is to test yourself, because if you look at this lecture, the purpose is to test yourself. ठीक है, क्योंकि जुलाई का मंथ हो चुका है. Now let's see how many of us remember the facts that we have memorized, we have covered in all the specific things. So any other person can also say. I am seeing guys that there is, देखो हम लोगों ने I have verified it from the team also. ठीक है, so Nilesh is saying everything is okay. So Chaitanya, what you can do is, ठीक है, kindly refresh your screen. I think that might be an issue there. ठीक है जी. Okay guys, so I am seeing, ठीक है, it is visible on our part. ठीक है, so now guys, I want the faculty, ठीक है, to have a discussion with you. Then we will start with the session. So first, Kaushik sir, you want to say anything to the students today?
So my dear learners, first of all, once again a warm welcome to all of you in the today's session. So today, basically, as you all know, that this is a revision session in which we will be covering all the important current affairs for the month of July 2022. So today I will be basically discussing the ESI current affairs, the reports, and the general awareness, which plays a really very important part in the NABARD Grade A exam as well. So now I would like to welcome Ekta ma'am, and now she will be discussing what she will be discussing in the today's session.
Hello students, in this session I'll be discussing with you ARD current affairs that are important for your NABARD examination, and I hope you will find these questions important and they'll help you in your exam. Now I'd like to call Kritika ma'am, and she'll introduce her and tell you what she'll teach.
Hello everyone, I hope all of you are doing really good and you all are very much prepared for this July session, and we will be doing the finance current affairs as well as the reforms in the banking sector that has happened in the July month. Okay, so I hope that you all are very much prepared for this marathon session that will be firing up you all's preparation. So thank you very much. Let's bring Gurkira sir, that will start with the marathon session.
Okay guys, now I think we have introduced ourselves also, that what are the things that we will be teaching you in today's lecture. So now guys, without wasting any time, let's start. Let's test yourself. Okay, let's analyze, and I want to see your scores also. So yes guys, take it as an examination, count your scores. Okay, and now guys, if you are new to our YouTube channel, kindly subscribe to the channel, and then to get the access of the PDF of this lecture, it will be available on our Telegram channel. Now let's start with the first question of the day. The first question is on the FAME India scheme, that is on the government schemes. Very important for your examination. FAME India scheme, you have to tell me which among the following statements are correct with respect to the FAME India scheme. Phase 1 was launched in year 2017. Outlay of the scheme for the phase 2 is rupees 10,000 crores, and it has been extended till 2025. So which statements are correct here? Let me see. ठीक है, and guys, talking about today's lecture, it should be in a rapid manner. आप लोगों ने काफी बार पढ़ा हुआ है, so the lecture will be in the form of a rapid manner. And if I say here, the answer will be only option number 2 is the answer here, that is option number B. ठीक है. Now coming to the thing here, it's not 2017. ठीक है, 2025 तक नहीं, 2024 तक स्कीम जो है वो आपकी एक्सटेंड हुई है. द सेकंड स्टेटमेंट हियर इज राइट. दैट्स व्हाई द आंसर बिकम्स ओनली सेकंड ऑप्शन हियर इज करेक्ट. ठीक है जी. Now, as I say, the scheme was launched in 2015, not in 2017. That's why only the second statement is correct. ठीक है. Then, if I talk about 10,000 करोड़ और एक्सटेंड कब तक हुई है? 2024 तक. ठीक है. चलिए. Next question is which among the following statements are not correct about the FAME India scheme? ठीक है. The thing is which are not correct. अब आपको बताना है incorrect. As on July, 4.7 lakh electric vehicles they have been incentivized under the FAME India scheme. Then is demand incentive for the electric two-wheelers has been increased to rupees 15,000 kilowatt per hour from rupees 10,000 kilowatt per hour. The next is there is an increase in cap from 30% to 40% of the cost for electric two-wheelers. Let me see, guys. I think I have revised this question in my PIB session also. Now let me see why this statement is incorrect here. ठीक है? Why that statement is incorrect here? तो देखिए कौन सी statement incorrect है? Only third option is incorrect here because देखो it is 20% to 40%, not 30. तो 20 to 40% increase हुआ था, not 30 to 40. ठीक है. मनप्रीत, फर्स्ट फेज 2017 स्टेटमेंट वाज इनकरेक्ट. इट वाज लॉन्च इन 2015, फर्स्ट फेज ऑफ द फेम इंडिया स्कीम. ठीक है. चलिए, कमिंग टू द थिंग, इफ दिस वाज अगेन डिस्कस बाय मी इन माय पीआईबी सेशन. ठीक है जी. कितने इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स हैं? 4.7 लाख इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स हैव बीन गिवन इंसेंटिव अंडर दिस स्पेसिफिक स्कीम. चलिए, नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, इफ आई टॉक अबाउट ऑन द इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल्स दैट आर इंपॉर्टेंट, जीएसटी इज एप्लीकेबल on electric vehicles, that is 5%. Then is charging stations. GST on charger and charging station, is it 12% or 18% or 5%? Tell me in the chat box which statement should be right here. Electric vehicles are basically not covered under the PLI scheme for automobiles. Let me see what should be the answer here. We have revised the scheme in the detail in our PIB session. So let me see what should be the answer here. आंसर होगा नहीं यहाँ पे सिर्फ और सिर्फ ओनली ए इज द आंसर हियर. व्हाई ओनली ए विल बी द आंसर हियर? सी, जीएसटी ऑन चार्जिंग व्हीकल्स कितना है? लेट्स टेल मी व्हाट इज द जीएसटी ऑन चार्जिंग व्हीकल्स. सेकंड इज रॉन्ग बिकॉज इट इज 5%. इट वाज अर्लियर 18% which was reduced to 5% so that electric vehicles could be promoted. Then why this statement is wrong? Because if you see PLI scheme for automobiles and auto components, here automobile sector is again focusing on electric vehicles. That's why this third statement also becomes incorrect here. ठीक है जी. So our answer will be option number A, that is only A will be the answer here. GST on electric vehicle is 5%. Earlier it was 12%. Charger and charging is also 5%, reduced from 18%. And if I talk about electric vehicles, they are also the component under the PLI scheme for automobiles. Now, coming to this phase 2 scheme. phase 2 लॉन्च हुआ था 2019 में, जबकि हमने डिस्कस किया था phase 1 कब लॉन्च हुआ है? If we can see, phase 1 was launched in 2015. That's the important thing to remember. ठीक है जी. चलिए. So coming back, ministry is Ministry of Heavy Industries, and as was discussed the question with you. ठीक है. So demand incentive, it has been increased to rupees 15,000 from 10,000 kilowatt per hour. और कैप कितना इंक्रीज हुआ है? 20% से 40%, not 30% to 40%. That is the important thing that we have to remember from the phase 2 scheme. Now coming to the second scheme of the day, that is Mission for Integrated Development of Horticulture, MIDH. Very important scheme. The question has been asked in our previous year NABARD examination. And if I talk about at this point of time, guys, ART scheme important. So let us see how many of you have revised the scheme that is related to agriculture section. Now coming back to this question, ठीक है जी, it is a scheme that was launched from 2014-15, ठीक है जी. And now coming to the question that I am asking you is, under the scheme, the financial assistances are provided on which of the following major activities? On which of the following activities basically the technical and financial assistance is provided? So let me see. I think again a question I have discussed in my PIB session. So yes, answer should be option number E, all of the above. If we look at the details, the important are what are the technical, what are the sectors where the assistances are basically being provided. They are for setting up of nurseries, okay, area expansion, rejuvenation of unproductive old and senile orchids, protecting the cultivation, okay, creation of water resource structure, beekeeping, pollination, horticulture mechanization, post-harvest management and marketing infrastructure, and the training of farmers. Now let's again discuss this scheme in detail. Okay, ji? Now, in which of the following state highest number of farmers have been trained under this specific scheme? Now guys, we have seen in the previous year questions of NABARD that the questions of this type are being asked in the examination. I can say in a question of 2021, they have asked the question which state has the highest number of farmer producing companies. So this year they might ask the question that which state has got the highest number of farmers trained under the MIDS scheme. So what should be the answer here? So answer here is that is Andhra Pradesh. Andhra Pradesh is the answer here. Now guys, if you have revised this thing thoroughly, tell me the second and third highest. Which states are the second and third highest? Tell me quickly in the chat box. Because I think most of you have seen the PIB session. So you know this answer, but tell me which state is at which state has the second and third highest. Second and third highest में कौन है जल्दी जल्दी बता दीजिए. Andhra is known is that it has the highest number of farmers being trained. But which are the second and third highest states? Third highest states if I talk about here. So here it is Maharashtra and Odisha. Maharashtra is second highest and Odisha is third highest here. Now, coming to the specific scheme guys, it was launched in 2014. Ministries, Agriculture and Farmers Welfare. It is a centrally sponsored scheme. If I talk about sub-schemes, that is National Horticulture Mission for Northeast and Himalayan states, National Horticulture Board, Coconut Development Board, and the Central Institute of Horticulture, that is Nagaland. So this is important which schemes are sub-schemes under this specific thing. Then if I talk about the funding pattern here, because it is a centrally sponsored scheme, so it is 60-40 in terms of normal states, but for Himalayan and Northeastern states it is 90:10. That is the percentage, that is the share of funding between center and state. Okay ji, chaliye. Now coming to the next important mission, again a very important mission, very important scheme from the point of your NABARD examination, Swachh Bharat Mission. I have discussed with you, even in your syllabus, this scheme has been clearly mentioned. In the NABARD syllabus, in the rural development syllabus, they have clearly mentioned Swachh Bharat Mission. So it could be Gramin also, it could be urban also. So you should remember both these specific schemes, that is Swachh Bharat Mission. Now tell me which statements are incorrect with respect to Swachh Bharat Mission Gramin Phase 2. Okay, it was launched in year 2020. Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs is the nodal ministry. It will be implemented till 2024-25 on a mission mode. So what should be the answer here? Answer should be option number E. If Nilesh, option number E, that is second statement, is wrong, what should be the right answer here? So guys, I want you to be very much, I want that your participation should be very much active. You should be very much active on these questions, okay? Because these are kind of questions you will be seeing in your examination also. Why the second statement is wrong? Swachh Bharat Mission Gramin is implemented by which ministry? Tell me, which ministry is implementing the Swachh Bharat Mission Gramin? Because this is also one thing that needs to be analyzed when you are preparing for the examination. Not only correct statement, but if that statement is incorrect, you should also know what is the correct thing that needs to be answered here. Okay ji, chaliye. Now coming to the next question, under the Swachh Bharat Mission Gramin Phase 2, the incentive is provided. That is, how much incentive is provided for the construction of IHL houses? So how much incentive is provided? The answer here is option number C. An incentive of rupees 12,000 is provided here. So I am seeing Ministry of Jal Shakti, Ministry of Rural Development. There is a confusion here. Don't worry guys, we will be looking into that also. But I am really happy to see that I'm really happy to see all of yours hard work and the participation that you guys are showing. I'm really glad of that. Okay, ji. So coming here, the answer is option number C. That is 12,000 is the answer here. Now if we talk about the key features of the scheme, the unit cost of IHL has been enhanced from rupees 10,000 to 12,000. Okay, and army of foot soldiers, which are known as Swachh Grahis, have also been working on this specific scheme so that it could be enhanced. Incentive of rupees 12,000 is also provided for the construction of IHL that I have asked you in the question. ठीक है, चलिए नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग स्टेटमेंट्स आर इनकरेक्ट विद रिस्पेक्ट टू द स्वच्छ भारत मिशन ग्रामीण. ठीक है, अंडर दिस फेज 2 गोवर्धन इनिशिएटिव हैज बीन लॉन्च्ड टू कन्वर्ट बायोवेस्ट इनटू बायोगैस एंड बायोस्लरी. द नेक्स्ट इज अंडर दिस स्पेसिफिक मिशन फाइनेंशियल असिस्टेंस of up to rupees 50 lakh per district is available. ठीक है जी, for setting up of community and cluster model biogas plants. The next is geotagging of toilets has been made mandatory. So is it mandatory that the geotagging has to be done or not mandatory? This is the important thing that needs to be analyzed here. ठीक है जी, financial assistance, is it provided up to rupees 50 lakh per district or some other amount is there? Then Govardhan initiative, whether it has been launched under this thing, whether it is a part here or not. If I talk about the statement here, guys, the answer is option number D, that is none of the above, which means all the statements that are given here are correct. So guys, I always tell to you one thing, that whenever you are going through the examination, you have to focus on keywords. तो यहाँ पे keywords क्या हैं? First keyword here is correct or incorrect, what they are asking, because if you know each and everything here also, अगर आपने ये कीवर्ड पे ध्यान नहीं दिया, if you have not focused on the keyword, you might get your answer wrong here and you might be attempting option number E, all of the above. That will be wrong here. Okay, so answer here is, that is none of the above here is incorrect, because all the statements given here are correct. So all the statements that are given here are correct. Yes, geotagging of toilets is mandatory. Then if I talk about Govardhan initiative has been launched under this specific thing, ठीक है, to convert biogas into bioslurry, and the important thing is financial assistance 50 lakh per district is provided under Swachh Bharat Mission Gramin. Now is coming here, so those of you who have given the answer Ministry of Jal Shakti, they are out, they are absolutely right. ठीक है, so it is not Ministry of Rural Development, because guys we might get confused here. ठीक है, this is a possibility, we might get confused here, because if I talk about the schemes like Deen Dayal Antyodaya National Rural Livelihood Mission, it is a scheme under Ministry of Rural Development. ठीक है, but when I talk about Swachh Bharat Mission, here the important thing to remember is Swachh Bharat Mission Gramin is basically being implemented by Ministry of Jal Shakti, not Ministry of Rural Development. Okay, now tell me one thing more, Swachh Bharat Mission Urban is basically implemented by which ministry? If Swachh Bharat Mission Gramin is implemented by Ministry of Jal Shakti, then tell me quickly guys, Swachh Bharat Mission Urban is basically implemented by which ministry? तो जल्दी जल्दी बता दीजिए, स्वच्छ भारत मिशन अर्बन कौन इंप्लीमेंट करता है? तो स्वच्छ भारत मिशन अर्बन इज बेसिकली बीन इंप्लीमेंटेड बाय Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Remember this thing, Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs is implementing the Swachh Bharat Mission Urban, जबकि Swachh Bharat Mission Gramin is implemented by Ministry of Jal Shakti here. Talking about the key purpose, ठीक है, Swachh Bharat Mission's main focus is to ensure open defecation free India, that is to provide open defecation free status, that is the important thing here. ठीक है जी, funding sharing if I talk about, so it is a centrally sponsored scheme, 90:10 northeastern and Himalayan states, 60-40 other states, 100% is for union territories. Okay, then if I talk about, it will be implemented till 2024-25 in a mission mode. Then these are the basic outcomes or the 4 key areas where this scheme is focusing on, that is plastic waste management, biodegradable solutions, grey water householding and facial sludge management are the main key components of this Swachh Bharat Mission Gramin. ठीक है, next is a paragraph on the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. Again a very important scheme from the agriculture perspective, that is important for your examination, that is Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. So here I am presenting you my screen guys, you guys can have a look at the paragraph here and then we will be answering these questions one by one. Now I hope you guys have gone through the paragraph. Now let's start with the first question of the day. Which among the following state has decided to re-implement the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana? This is a question I have discussed with you a lot of time. Which state has decided to re-implement the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana? The answer here is, that is option number C. Andhra Pradesh is the right answer here. So Andhra Pradesh is the state which has re-implemented the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. Then this was the seen in news on 12th of July. So see, These are the important things that needs to be remembered. ठीक है, I have revised the schemes review with you in my PAB session also. ठीक है, so I hope you have seen those sessions. ठीक है, that's why I think there is no need to explain this again and again. We have remembered this thing. Reason is कि Andhra Pradesh was not able to pay the amount for under the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. That's why the scheme got suspended there, but now it has been re-implemented in that specific state. Next question is, under the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, what is the cap on center's premium subsidy for irrigated area crops? So keyword here is center subsidy. ठीक है, premium subsidy on the irrigated area crop, irrigated unirrigated area, that is again to be remembered here. So what should be the answer here? Answer क्या है? Answer is option number B. 25% is the right answer here. So 25% is the center subsidy that is provided on basically on the irrigated area crops. Then the next question is, consider the following statements that are correct with respect to the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. It has replaced and modified the National Agricultural Insurance Scheme. Okay, this is again important because previous year they have asked a question on National Rural Livelihood Mission was renamed. Okay, which scheme was basically being renamed as National Rural Livelihood Mission? The question has been asked in the previous year paper of NABARD. So this is the scheme that is important here also. Then the next question is, states have been allowed to set up their own insurance companies for implementing the scheme. Whether this is right, it has a provision of 2% for administrative expenses. So let me see how many of you get your answer right here, because if you have gone through my PIB session, just within 5 seconds you can solve this question. We know the right answer here because answer should be option number A. Why the third statement becomes incorrect? Because it is not 2%. It is 3%. So 3% is the right answer. So administrative expenses are basically 3%, not 2%. Okay, that's why option number A should be the answer here. Now tell me one thing, whether the tenants or sharecroppers, whether they are eligible to take the benefits under Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, yes or no? Tell me quickly in the chat box whether the tenants are eligible to take the benefits of Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana, yes or no? Tell me quickly guys what should be the answer, because this is again the purpose here is not just to solve this question, but you should also be thorough about the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana also. Whether tenants are eligible for Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. So just I am saying, Nilesh, Rathod, agent, Divya, all of you are saying yes, that is absolutely right. Tenants and sharecroppers are also eligible for getting the subsidy under Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. So gone are those days. It could be an easy question like also in your examination, what is the percentage of subsidy that farmer has to contribute? Okay? It could be questions on this specific line also. Then the second question that I want to ask you on the Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana is whether now it is mandatory for farmers to participate under this scheme, or is it compulsory for a loony farmer to be eligible for this, to be a part of the scheme? Whether it is voluntary in nature, is it compulsory for the farmer? Do tell me quickly guys what should be the thing here. It is compulsory or is it voluntary? So what should be the answer here? For the farmers, what should be the answer? Whether it is voluntary for that or is it compulsory for them? So till that, let me see here. Okay, yes, the fun thing is right. Sharecroppers and tenant farmers are included here, and now it is voluntary for the farmers, not compulsory. Remember this thing, initially it was compulsory, but now it is voluntary for that. Okay, it is a scheme of Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare launched in 2016. Purpose is to reduce the premium burden that is been borne by the farmers. Okay, then if I talk about the key features here, so we know it has replaced the National Agriculture Insurance Scheme. Okay, 0.5% of the total premium collected are to be spent on information, communication and education. States are not allowed to implement the scheme in subsequent season in case they delay the release of requisite payment subsidy. That is the reason. That is the main reason why Andhra Pradesh has to discontinue the scheme. And now, because they have given the money, now they could continue. They are re-implementing this Pradhan Mantri Fasal Bima Yojana. Okay, ji? So, if I talk about the thing here, yes, states are allowed to set up their own insurance companies. Here also, premium, I think every one of you know, 2% is Kharif, 1.5% Rabi and 5% is for commercial and horticultural crops. Funding 30% unirrigated, 25% irrigated, and 90% for the northeastern states. Now guys, let's move to the next scheme. Next scheme is again a paragraph has been given on a scheme. You can have a look at the paragraph here also. I'm giving you at least 30 seconds to have a look at the paragraph. Then I will be discussing the question on this specific scheme. Okay. So I think you have gone through the paragraph now. Now guys, let's start with the question. First of all, tell me which scheme is basically being talked about here. Which is the scheme that has been talked about here basically, which is focusing on the tourism sector. Okay, so which scheme is talking about here? If I tell you here guys, the scheme that we are discussing is the Prasad Scheme. Okay, I have discussed with you earlier also. Prasad Scheme is basically a scheme focusing on the religious sectors. So if a scheme is focusing on tourism, but it is also focusing on the religious pilgrimage tourism promotion, it is the Prasad Scheme. Okay, then Swadesh Darshan किसकी scheme है? जल्दी बता दीजिए. Swadesh Darshan scheme is implemented by which ministry? It is again a scheme of Ministry of Tourism. Bharat Gaurav, tell me quickly, Bharat Gaurav is a scheme of which ministry? Tell me quickly guys, now let me see because we have discussed these schemes a lot of time. Tell me quickly, Bharat Gaurav scheme is a scheme of which ministry? Bharat Gaurav, if I talk about Bharat Gaurav is a scheme of Ministry of Railways. So don't get confused. Bharat Gaurav is for Ministry of Railways, not Ministry of Tourism. तो ये गलती नहीं करनी, because it might be a possibility you might get confused कि Bharat Gaurav is also under tourism, but it is not. It is under Ministry of Railways. Amrut is under Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs. Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs is the Amrut scheme. Now let me move. Okay, this is again a scheme that was seen in news on the 12th of July in the PIB session. I have discussed about this scheme also. Okay, ji. Then coming to this question, that is which of the following are basically the objectives of this scheme, that is the Prasad scheme. That will tell me. Okay, ji. Then the purpose is it aims to promote the local arts, culture and handicraft cuisines, enhance the tourism attractiveness in a sustainable manner. Okay, integrated development of pilgrimage destinations in a planned manner. Okay, ji. Then is follow community based developments and pro-poor tourism concept. Pro-poor tourism concept basically means guys कि आप चाहते हो कि जो वहां के लोग हैं उनका craft promote हो. You want to promote that those specific craft. So answer here is, that is option number E. All of the above are basically the objectives of this scheme. That is the Prasad scheme. So talking about Prasad guys, Prasad stands for basically, the name is saying, pilgrimage, rejuvenation and spiritual heritage augmentation schemes. I always tell you Prasad से क्या याद रखना, how to remember it with religious sites. Prasad आपको कहाँ पे मिलता है? Religious centers में मिलता है. You can remember it on that way, that where you get the Prasad, that is you get the Prasad on the religious sites. From here you could remember this specific scheme. Scheme is of Ministry of Tourism. The purpose is to integrately develop and promote the tourism on pilgrimage sites. So community-based developments will be done, local arts and cultures will be promoted, tourism potential will be enhanced. Okay, ji, and it is a central sector scheme. So central sector, which means 100% funded by the central government. Then guys, next question is, which of the following statements are correct about the UDAN scheme? UDAN, that is regional connectivity scheme, UDAN. So tell me again, I have discussed this question a lot of time. What does UDAN stands for? तो UDAN का simple मतलब याद रखना. UDAN is simply, when we talk about it, means fly, but UDAN for us is उड़े देश का आम नागरिक. That is the full form of UDAN scheme. So here I am asking you a question. The scheme was launched in 2016. It will be operational for a period of 10 years. Airlines need to be provided 50% of the seats, okay, ji, at subsidized rates. It is 50% or 100%. That you have to tell me. The airlines operators will be provided exclusivity to operate on the route for a period of 5 years. So what should be the answer here? Nilesh, I think, has revised these schemes a lot of time. So this is again a thing that I have discussed in my PIB sessions also, guys. The answer here is option number A, because it is not 5 years, it is 3 years that you have to remember. That's why the last statement becomes here incorrect. It is 3 years, not 5 years. That is right, Nilesh. Okay. Coming to the next questions. What is the fare at which airlines have to sell the tickets with the number of seats for 1 hour? Okay. If the what is the amount if the person is traveling under an Udan Airlines, okay, under the Udan scheme for 1 hour, what should be the price charge here? Is it 2000, 2500, 3000, 3500 or 4000? Again an easy question. So answer क्या है यहाँ पे? Option number B, 2500 rupees is the right answer. That is option number B. चलिए, coming to the next question again on this scheme, that is Udan scheme. ठीक है जी, it is being implemented by Ministry of Civil Aviation. Very easy to answer. Launched in year 2015 and Airport Authority of India is the implementing agency. देखो यहाँ पे आपको एक चीज क्लियर हो जाएगी कि how to answer this question, because this we have seen in our previous NABARD examination also. ठीक है जी, to how to see this question. So here your answer becomes option number B, that is A and C, because हमें पता है 2015 में launch नहीं हुई. It was not launched in 2015. Just look at the previous questions if you guys have seen that question specifically. ठीक है जी, the answer is here. And guys, similarly, if I am saying you, it is not कि हमने ये question जान के डाला, it is by mistake that this question has come. It is not the reason. The reason is we have put this question intentionally because when you look at the previous year examination, previous year question of NABARD, there were questions on National Rural Livelihood Mission which was quite interrelatable. Okay, and they have asked the question. So NABARD has a tendency, they will try to trick you here also in the examination also with the schemes which are similar in nature. Okay, and they will try to test you there also. So this is the reason we have asked this specific question here. Okay, चलिए जी. So we know it was launched in 2016. That is पूरे देश का आम नागरिक. Airport Authority of India is the implementing agency here. Operational period is 10 years. It is a market-driven scheme that is being launched. ठीक है जी. What the operators have to do? 50% of the flight capacity, the seats have to be provided. ठीक है जी. Helicopter, if the seats are less than or equal to 13, then it is required to provide 100% regional connectivity seats to the customer. ठीक है जी. Then if I talk about the thing here, ठीक है जी, airport, aerodrome or helipad operators, no landing or parking charges will be imposed on these RCS flights. Then viability gap funding, as I have discussed with question, viability gap funding is basically available for a period of 3 years here. Then guys, coming to the next question, which of the following statements are correct about the Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana? Again, a very important scheme. So see, the reason with coming up these schemes are really important for your examination, because your examination for NABARD is coming. So we have tried to find out each and every important scheme that is relevant for NABARD, because in the month of July there are a lot of schemes here. ठीक है जी. And if I talk about this question on the Matsya Sampada Yojana, it has a budget of 20,050 crore rupees for a period of 5 years. The purpose is it aims to achieve a fish production of 22 lakh million metric ton by 2023-24, 23-24 and 24-25. Tell me quickly what should be the answer here. Okay, it wants to create an additional employment opportunity for about 55 lakh people through the fisheries sector. So what should be the answer here? Tell me quickly what should be the answer here. The answer here is option number E, 1 and 3. Second statement is wrong here. It's not 2023-24. So jaldi बताओ कि what should be the answer if it is not 2023-24. What should be the right thing here? Because the purpose is, ठीक है, as I have told you, these are the key things where you have to focus on. So jaldi बता दीजिए if it is not 2023-24. What should be the answer here? Why this statement is wrong here? ठीक है, it's 2024-25. That's why that statement becomes incorrect here. ठीक है जी. Coming to the next question, under this specific scheme, it aims to increase the contribution of fishery sectors to the agriculture, to the GV of agriculture, to about what percentage? That is what percentage from 7.28% in 2018-19. So what should be the answer here? What should be the answer here? The answer, if I talk about here, the answer here is, that is option number E. We want to increase under the scheme. The purpose, the main objective of the scheme of this Matsya Sampada Yojana is we want to increase the contribution of fishery sectors in the gross value addition for agriculture by 9%. That is by 2024-25. चलिए, next question is the Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana Targets to double the export earning to rupees how much crores by the year 2024-25. So what should be the answer? What is the target amount that is for doubling this thing? Targeting export, if I talk about here, so target of export is 1 lakh crore rupees. The target under the Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana for the earnings in terms of fisheries export by the year 2024-25 is 1 lakh crore rupees. This is something that is really important. Okay, so that is 1 lakh crore rupees is the answer here. Coming to the scheme, guys, it was launched in year 2020. Okay, it is a scheme of Ministry of Fisheries, Animal Husbandry and Dairy Farming. Okay, ji. Now if I talk about here, fisheries में क्या करना चाहते हो? Think on yourself also. You will be able to understand the scheme. You want to develop the fishery sector. ठीक है जी. For that you need some methods in which minimal environment impact should be there. You do not want to harm the environment also. This is the main concern. Where then you are talking about fishery sector. Then for that you want to enhance the fish production. What you will do is you will be basically modernizing your methods. Okay, and after the modernization, what you want is you want robust fisheries management, and for that you need a proper regulatory framework. This is the aim of the scheme. Fish production, if I say you want to increase the fish production to 22 million metric ton by 2024-2025, so that is the reason that statement was wrong here. ठीक है जी. Aquaculture productivity 5 tons per hectare. ठीक है, and domestic fish consumption should be increased from 5 kg to 12 kg per capita. All these targets are important. Yes, guys, I am telling you all these targets are important for your examination. Now, if I talk about contribution of fishery sector, it is proposed that it will be 9% of GVA by 2024-25, which was 7.28% in 2018-19, doubling export earnings to 1 lakh crore by 2024-25. Private investment needs to be there and reduce the post-harvest losses to 20-25% to about 10%. This is the main thing about this specific scheme. That is Matsya Sampada Yojana. Now, if I talk about other key features, financial outlay 20,050 crore rupees. Center's contribution will be 1720 crore rupees. And if I talk about the thing here is that 1720 crore rupees will be provided as a part of central sector scheme, whereas the rest will be provided 18,330 crore rupees will be provided as a part of centrally sponsored scheme. Okay, ji, chaliye. Next question is again a scheme that is related to agriculture, that is the Fisheries and Aquaculture Infrastructure Development Fund. Again a prominent scheme that is relevant for your NABARD examination, that is FIDF scheme. It was launched in year 2018-19. It specifically caters to creation of fisheries infrastructure for facilities both in marine and inland fisheries. TKG project under the FIDF is eligible for up to 80% of the estimated actual cost. So what should be the answer here? Answer here is option number D. That is all the statements about the scheme is correct. Coming to the next question, what is the total fund size? Total fund size for the Fisheries and Aquaculture Infrastructure Development Fund. Total fund size for the scheme. What is the total fund size? The total fund size here is, guys, that is option number C. 7,522 crore rupees is the total funding here. So, guys, these are kind of questions which you know, which is type of questions ya to yes hai ya no hai. Because within 5 to 10 seconds, these are kind of questions you can attempt easily. Because if you know, then you will mark the answer. If you do not know, you can skip these questions. Okay? These are those kind of questions. And yes, total allocation, total amount are important for your examination here. Now, if I talk about the scheme, it was launched in 2018. Okay, ji, for the creation and modernization of fisheries infrastructure. So don't get it confused with Matsya Sampada Yojana. These are two different things. Okay? The purpose is creation of marine aquaculture infrastructure. It is not the purpose of that. Is there the purpose is to enhance productivity. Here it is to create an infrastructure for the fisheries development. This is the thing here. Okay? Bridge resource gap and facilities for completion of these infrastructure projects. Okay, ji? Total size is 7,522 crore rupees. Employment opportunity, private investment, these are some common things here also. Okay, ji? Then if I talk about the important thing, okay, it wants to achieve a sustainable growth of 8 to 9%. Okay, and it wants to increase the country's fish production to about 20 million tons by 2022-23. This is the important thing here. ठीक है. Rest, if I talk about loan lending period, it is 5 years. It has been enhanced from 5 years. ठीक है. तो देखो मिनिमम कितना है 5 years, मैक्सिमम कितना है 12 years. This is all about this FID scheme. Rest guys you can read in your PDF. ठीक है. चलिए 22nd question, integrated child development scheme, again an important scheme, ICDS, integrated child development scheme. So you have to tell me about the scheme. Is it being implemented by Ministry of Women and Child Development? It was launched in 1975. Targeted beneficiaries are the children in the age group of 0 to 6 years and pregnant and lactating mothers. So which of the following statements are correct about this integrated child development scheme? So tell me quickly guys, what should be the answer here about the ICDS scheme? So yes guys, the answer here is option number D, that is A, B and C. Important to remember, integrated child development scheme is a scheme of Ministry of Women and Child Development. Launch here is important. It was launched way back in 1975. It is not a new scheme. It was launched way back in 1975, where the primary focus was on the children in the age group of 0 to 6 years as well as the pregnant and lactating mothers. Chaliye, next question is, which of the following is not one of the sub scheme under this ICDS scheme? Is it Anganwadi Services Scheme, National Crash Scheme, Poshan Abhiyan, Pradhan Mantri Matru Vandana Yojana or Scheme for Adolescent Boys? So what should be the answer here? Which is not one of the component, that you have to remember, not one of the component. Here is Scheme for Adolescent Boys. तो देखो ये पॉइंट पे ध्यान देना था. स्कीम फॉर एडोलेसेंट गर्ल्स इज अ पार्ट है. स्कीम फॉर एडोलेसेंट बॉयज की तो स्कीम ही नहीं है. स्कीम फॉर एडोलेसेंट गर्ल्स इज अ स्कीम. ठीक है. सो हियर इट इज अ क्वेश्चन हियर हाउ यू कुड सॉल्व इज. हियर यू जस्ट नीड अ बेसिक थिंग, just a basic thing, because these are the schemes that you have heard. Scheme for adolescent boys तो scheme ही नहीं है. Scheme for adolescent girls scheme है basically. That is the reason why this option number E becomes incorrect here. Okay जी. चलिए, coming to the next question, which among the following is again not one of the services that are being offered under the ICDS scheme? Not offered here. ठीक है जी. चलिए, so not offered under the ICDS scheme. The answer is it is pre-primary education, preschool non-formal education, nutrition and health education, immunization or supplementary nutrition. So this is the question. If I talk about, this is a question at moderate level. Okay, now let me see how many of you have revised this ICDS scheme and how many of you get your answer right here. So quickly guys, quickly tell me what should be the answer here. What should be the answer here? Answer here is option number A, that is pre-primary education is not a purpose here. Pre-primary education, the purpose is child development, that is formal education, that is non-formal education, nutrition, immunization and supplementary nutrition. Pre-primary education is not a part here, that is it is not a feature among the services that are provided here. ठीक है जी. When I talk about, it was launched way back in 1975 by Ministry of Women and Child Development. Let's see nutritional and health status of the children. ठीक है जी. फाउंडेशन एंड साइकोलॉजिकल और फिजिकल और सोशल डेवलपमेंट ऑफ अ चाइल्ड. ठीक है जी. रिड्यूस द मोर्टेलिटी, दिस इज द मेन रीजन. ठीक है जी. देन अचीव द इफेक्टिव कोऑर्डिनेशन ऑफ पॉलिसी एंड इंप्लीमेंटेशन, enhance the capability of mothers so that they could look after the normal health of their children. Beneficiaries I have discussed, children in the age group of 0 to 6 years and pregnant women and lactating mothers are the thing here. ठीक है जी. Next, if I talk about services, so see, remember here, these are the important services that we need to remember, that is supplementary nutrition, preschool and non-formal education, nutrition and health education, immunization, health checkup and referral services, but it is not talking about the pre-primary health. That is the reason that statement becomes wrong here. Sub scheme की बात करें तो question that I have asked is C, scheme for adolescent girls not boys. ठीक है जी. पोषण अभियान, मातृ वंदना योजना, नेशनल क्राइस स्कीम, चाइल्ड प्रोटेक्शन स्कीम एंड द आंगनवाड़ी सर्विसेज स्कीम आर द सब स्कीम्स हियर. चलिए, मूविंग टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज ऑन द दीनदयाल उपाध्याय ग्रामीण कौशल्य योजना. Again a very important scheme, very important scheme for your examination point of view. Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gramin Kaushalya Yojana. It is implemented by Ministry of Rural Development. Launch year is 2015, and the scheme has basically the dual objectives. that is adding diversity to the income and career aspirations for rural youth. So what should be the answer here? Let me see what should be the answer here. So answer here is again option number B, A and C. It was not launched in 2015. जल्दी जल्दी बताओ कब launch हुई थी? If it was not launched in 2015, then in which year this scheme was launched? Okay. Now coming to the next question is, what is the mandatory coverage of socially disadvantaged groups which are basically particularly focusing on the monitoring under the scheme? ठीक है, monitoring under this scheme, that is the Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gramin Kaushalya Yojana. What is the mandatory coverage here? Is it 5%, 10, 15, 20 or 25%? What should be the answer here? So guys, it is 15%. 15% is basically the amount of mandatory coverage for the socially disadvantaged groups. So if you have seen the lectures that I have taken on, on the NABARD revision also, there also I have revised this Deen Dayal Upadhyay scheme with you. This is again, ठीक है, ये हमने रिवाइज की हुई है, बस the only thing is to revise it here. ठीक है जी. चलिए, next is which of the following statements are correct with respect to the Deen Dayal Upadhyay scheme? The beneficiaries include rural youth in the age of 15 to 45 years. Funds project minimum duration 76 hours to 304 hours. It has a two-tier implementation model. So you can have a look at the specific question again. ठीक है जी, I have highlighted the keywords for you. Now let me see what should be the answer here. What should be the answer? Let me see. ठीक है जी, देखते हैं किसको आंसर आता है इसका. इसका आंसर है जी ऑप्शन नंबर A and B, because two tier नहीं, three tier implementation is being done basically under the Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gramin Kaushalya Yojana. So talking about the scheme, it was launched in 2014. ठीक है, implemented by Ministry of Rural and Development. If I talk about Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gramin Kaushalya, Kaushalya always means skill development, but don't get confused here with Ministry of Skill Development. ठीक है, कौशल you have to increase at the rural level. So rural level when I talk about, it is Ministry of Rural Development. Bridge the skill gap to act diversity to the incomes of rural people and to cater to the career aspirations of rural youth. Beneficiaries, if I talk about guys, rural youth in the age of 15 to 35 years is here. ठीक है जी. Then is SC ST women, ठीक है, up to 45 years. So that's why this statement becomes right here. Then when I talk about the placement here, placement will be done here, ठीक है जी, which will be addressing the market demands. The important here is it will be for placement, the amount will be ranging between 25,696 to 1 lakh per person based on the duration of its training. Training duration 576 hours, that is 3 months to around 12 months, that is 2304 hours. Then if I talk about the mandatory coverage, SC ST 50%, minority 15%, women 33%. That's the question I have asked you. Mandatory coverage of minority is 15% here. ठीक है जी. Incentives job जो guarantee है वो दी जाती है. Guaranteed placement is for at least 70% of the trained candidates. ठीक है, remember this point also. This is again very much important for your examination. Then it is working basically on a three-tier model, that is of Deen Dayal Upadhyay Gramin Kaushalya National Unit, State Mission and the project implementing agencies. Now guys, coming to the 28th question is on the PLI scheme for food processing industry. PLI scheme for food processing industry. The first question is, it is being implemented by Ministry of Food Processing Industries. Launch year is 2021 and this incentive is basically, it has only two components. So which statements here are correct with respect to the PLI scheme for food processing industry? So tell me quickly guys, what should be the answer here? A and B, A and C, B and C, A, B and C, and none of the above. So if I talk about the thing here, option number D, that is all these statements are correct with respect to the PLI scheme for food processing industry here. Okay ji, coming to the next question, what is the total budgetary outlay for the food processing industry scheme, PLI scheme for food processing industries? Let me see. तो आंसर यहाँ पे क्या है? आंसर है आपको ऑप्शन नंबर ए, 10,900 crore rupees is the right answer here. चलिए, coming to the next question, that is which among the following statements are correct about this PLI scheme for food processing industry. That is, scheme will be implemented for a 6-year period. Then is applicants will be extended a grant of at the rate 50% on expenditure branding. Okay, ji? Maximum grant of 3% here will be provided for the sale of food products. Then is it will create an employment for nearly 2.5 lakh persons by the year 2025-26. So guys, again I have highlighted the keyword for you. Look at the question here. Okay, ji? Look at the question and try to solve this question, because this is a type of question, okay, ji, which are, if they are coming in the examination, they are not easy to attempt. They are questions on moderate to tough level, because they require a very in-depth coverage of a scheme here. So if I talk about a thing here, answer here is option number E, that is only A is correct here. Now let me see. Now let you see the question. It was launched in 2021, Ministry of Food Processing Industry, okay, ji. Center sector scheme with an outlay of 10,900 crore rupees. Okay. Now if I say applicants will be extended at the rate of 50% expenditure on marketing and branding. Maximum grant है जो 3% of sales है, which is rupees 50 crore, whichever is less here. ठीक है जी. When I talk about categories of applicants, so category 1 basically क्या है, large entities हैं जो कि सिर्फ सेल बेस्ड इंसेंटिव क्राइटेरिया पे वर्क करेंगे. कैटेगरी 2 आर बेसिकली दी SMEs, दैट इज स्मॉल मीडियम एंटरप्राइजेस एप्लीकेंट मैन्युफैक्चरर्स. ठीक है. कैटेगरी 3 आर दोज एप्लीकेंट्स हियर. बेस ईयर की मैं बात करूं तो 1 to 4 years, 5th year, and these are the base years that have been given here. ठीक है जी. So rest guys, you can have a look at this specific scheme. So this was all from the scheme section. If you guys have any kind of doubt guys, you can ask me that specific doubt. Okay, then we will be proceeding with your next specific thing. Any doubt you have, you can ask me. Otherwise, we should proceed with the reports and scheme section. Okay, any doubt if you guys have about the scheme section. So okay, I think till the time now. Okay, now I will be asking Kaushik sir to proceed here. ठीक है जी. Still guys, अगर कोई भी doubt होगा ना तो don't worry, just drop me an email here at hello@edutap.co.in. ठीक है जी. Okay guys, any doubt if you have, you can drop me an email here also. So now without wasting any time, let me bring to you Kaushik sir. So he will be taking the lecture further from here.
Thank you so much, sir. So once again, a warm welcome to all of you guys. Hello everyone. So I really believe that all of you have really enjoyed the government scheme session that recently just has been finished by the Gurkirat sir, and now we will be proceeding towards the next section, that is the reports and indices. And we all know that reports and indices are really very important from the exam point of view. So without wasting any more time, let's move on to the very first question of the reports and indices, which is here on your screen. And the report which is being in the question is QS Best Student Cities Ranking 2023. Basically, this report is all about the choice of the students on the basis of various parameters in order to choose a city where they want to study. So guys, kindly tell me that in which one of the following cities is basically has topped in this particular ranking, that is QS Best Student Cities Ranking 2023. Let's see who will answer the question correctly. The options are Melbourne, Seoul, London, Munich or Leeds. So Nilesh is saying that option C is the right answer. Let's wait for others as well. So most of the people are going with option number C, that is London. And guys, this is absolutely the right answer. London is the right answer to this question. So London has got an overall score of 100 under this particular rankings. And when I talk about the cities which are on the second and third, then here you can see that Seoul and Munich, they were both on the second position together. And after that there was Zurich and Melbourne on the respective 4th and 5th position in this particular ranking. I hope this is clear. Let's move on to the next question. So the next question is on the India cities, that which Indian city has basically topped among all the other Indian cities which were included in the QS Best Student Cities Ranking 2023. Is it Bangalore, Chennai, Mumbai, Pune, Ahmedabad? See guys, these are the kind of things that you are required to remember. We always tell you that whenever you are covering the reports and indices, you are required to cover the reports and indices across 5 important dimensions. And what exactly are those? First of all, the releasing body, then important rankings, framework of the report, then top performer, worst performer, important recommendations and the important findings. So these are the 5 dimensions. So guys, here you can see that when I talk about this question is basically from the important findings, and this is basically on India specific finding. And here guys, the right answer to the question is option 3, that is Mumbai. So Mumbai is basically the right answer to this particular question. Let's move on to the next question. So guys, here the next question is, which of the following organizations has released the State of the Food Security and Nutrition, the World SOFI Report 2022? So quickly tell me what is the right answer. This particular question is on the very first dimension, that is the releasing body of the particular question. So which one of the following organizations has released the State of the Food Security and Nutrition in the world? Let's see who will answer the question correctly guys. Question number 33. Is it FAO or IFAD, UNICEF, WFP, or all of the above? Let's see that who will answer the question correctly. And absolutely right guys, the right answer to the question is all of the above, as all these particular organizations have clubbed together in order to release this particular report, that is the State of Food Security and Nutrition. So this report basically tells us about the food security and nutrition across the world. So guys, now let's see that what exactly this report is all about. Here you can see that the State of the Food Security and Nutrition report is being released by FAO, IFAD, then UNICEF, WFP and WHO. Apart from that, there is another very important finding that you are required to remember from the exam point of view from this report, and that is, this report says that around 2.3 billion people in the world were moderately, severely food insecure in 2021, and this is basically 350 million more as compared to the before during the COVID-19 pandemic. So here you can see that this kind of numbers are always very much important from the exam point of view when the report mentions the global data, and that is why it is important. Moving on to the next question. So the next question is, as we have discussed that this report is on the food security and nutrition, now we are talking about the nutritional thing in India. So here you are required to tell me the number of undernourished people in India that has been declined to dash from 247.8 million in 2004 to 2006. So what exactly is the new number? We all know that earlier the value was 247.8 million, but now by what number it has declined? So this is what you should tell me in the comment section. Is it 224.3 million, 240 million, 260, 200 or 290.2 million? So guys, here the right answer to the question is option 1, that is 224.3 million. So Nilesh has answered the question correctly, that is 224.3 million guys. So here you can see that the number of undernourished people in India has declined to 224.3 million from 247.8 million from 2004-06 to 2019-21. So very good Nilesh and Rahul. Let's move on to the next question. So the next question is once again on the same, but here there is a different question. This question is on the different line. This says you are required to tell me the number of children in India up to 5 months of age. See, वो बच्चे जिनकी 5 years तक की age है, they are exclusively breastfed has touched what number in 2020 from 11.2 million in 2012. So guys, here you are required to tell me that how many number of children under the 5 years of age exclusively breastfed. So is it 20 million, 18 million, 12 million, 14 million or 16 million? So very important finding from here that you can see that this particular number has basically increased. Earlier it was 11.2 million in 2012 and now it has increased. And what exactly that new number? This is what you are required to tell me. The question number 35, and guys, here the right answer is 14 million. So here you can see that the number has basically increased by 2.8 million. That is from 11.2 to 14 million. So this can also be asked in the question. So the right answer is question option number 4, that is 14 million. I hope this is clear. So from here you can see that this number has increased from 11.2 million to 14 million in 2020. See guys, these are the important things, and all of the people have many of the people have answered this particular question incorrectly. See guys, these are the questions, these are the topics from where such kind of questions are being asked, and this why this particular report is important. See, it is basically very much related to your food and crop. Okay, that is why, and when you are covering and when you are preparing for the NABARD Grade A exam for that particular thing, this particular report is really very important. Let's move on to the next question. The next question is on the Asia Pacific Sustainability Index 2021. So quickly tell me that which organization has released this particular report, that is APAC, Asia Pacific Sustainability Index 2021. Is it Savills, JLL, Rightmove, Knight Frank, or none of the above? So these are the questions, these are the dimensions across which you are required to cover these reports and indices from the exam point of view. As I've already told you, there are only 5 dimensions. If you're covering them, then nobody can stop you in answering the question successfully in the exam. So when I talk about the question number 36 here, guys, the right answer is Knight Frank, which has released the Asia Pacific Sustainability Index. So now here you can see that sustainability index has been released by Knight Frank, and here when I talk about the city in India which was at the top, it was basically Bangalore, which led the sustainability index among the top Indian cities, and it was only the Indian city which has got the gold standard category. So very important finding from the exam point of view. So here only 2 things are important. First of all, the releasing body. The next important thing is that which city from India that has basically topped this particular part, that is Bengaluru. Moving on to the next question. The next question is on the World Cities Report 2022. Once again, the question has the similar dimension, that is you are required to tell me the name of the body which has released this report, that is World Cities Report 2022. So let's see who will answer the question correctly. Question number 37. And guys, here the right answer is UN Habitat, that is United Nations Habitat is the right answer to this question. And this particular World Cities Report 2022 also gives us a very important finding, that it says that the urban population is forecasted to grow from 56% of the global total in 2021 to 68% by 2050. That means there will be an increase of 12% from 56% to 68%. So these are the findings that you are required to remember apart from the releasing body which has been mentioned in the question here. So now moving on to the next question. As we have already discussed the global population, now it is the time that we should discuss the India specific finding, that is the urban population of India, which is estimated to stand at dash in 2035. So by 2035, what exactly will be the India's population? Basically the population which will be residing in the urban area, that means urban population of India. So just a very simple thing, you are required to tell me the urban population of India by year 2035. What exactly is the estimate? And here is most of the people are going with option number D as the right answer, and that is absolutely right. 675 million is the right answer to this particular question. So here you can see that India's urban population will be 675 million in 2035. And another important thing, that by 2035 the percentage of the population in India by mid-year, it will basically be 43.2%. That means 43.2% of the people will be living in the urban areas in India. So a very important point that you should remember from the exam point of view. Now the next question is on the Sustainable Development Goals Report 2022. Guys, I am marking the star here. This particular report is very much important from the exam point of view because it is related to the Sustainable Development Goals, and it is a very important point when we talk about the environment, which is mentioned in your syllabus for the NABARD Grade A exam as well. So guys, this particular report is very much important because it is from the United Nations, and that is why it is very important. And this report is basically a very important report. Now you are required to tell me that what exactly is the name of the organization which has released the Sustainable Development Goals Report 2022. So let's see who will answer the question correctly. Question number 39. So some are going with option number B. So most of the people are going with option number 2, that is UNDESA, and guys, that is absolutely right. So United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs is the right answer to this question, which has come up with this particular report, that is Sustainable Development Goals Report 2022. Now guys, quickly tell me that how many Sustainable Development Goals are there? What exactly is the number of the Sustainable Development Goals that we are aiming to achieve? And you are also required to tell me that by which year we are aiming to achieve those Sustainable Development Goals. Let's see who will tell me the right answer. Number of Sustainable Development Goals and by which year we are aiming to achieve these particular goals. So absolutely right guys, there are a total of 17 Sustainable Development Goals that we are aiming to achieve by year 2030. So this is the important thing that you are required to remember, and you can relate these particular reports from the current affairs apart from that and other thing as well, because they are really important to be remembered, and you can also complement your answers when you are answering the descriptive questions in the exam. Very well done. Or Nilesh, Rahul and Agon, you are really good. 2030 is the right answer. Let's move on to the next question. So the next question is, how many people worldwide has been pushed into extreme poverty in 2020? So in just this particular question, you are just required to tell me that how many people have been pushed into extreme poverty in 2020, and these kind of questions are always being asked in the exam, and this is a very important question from a very important report from the important findings of the Sustainable Development Goals Report 2022, which is being released by UNDESA. And guys, here the right answer is 93 million. So basically 93 million have been pushed. 93 million people have been pushed into extreme poverty in year 2020. Moving on to the next question. The next question is on the International Economic Resilience Rankings. So quickly tell me that which organization has released this particular report, that is International Economic Resilience Ranking. Is it IBEF, Mondelez, FIEO or PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industry? Question number 41. Let's see who will answer the question correctly. The question is on the releasing body. Just tell me the name of the report is being mentioned here, that is International Economic Resilience Ranking, and here the right answer is PhD Chamber of Commerce and Industry. So well done guys, all of you have answered the question correctly in this particular question. Really good that all of you have answered the question correctly. Let's move on to the next question. And now in this question, you are required to tell me the name of the country which has topped this particular ranking, that is International Economic Resilience Ranking. Once again, a very important dimension. See, I always tell you that whenever there is a ranking, you are required to cover three important things. First of all, the top performer, then worst performer, and the most importantly is India's rank, which is really very important from the exam point of view. So when I talk about the question number 42 guys, here when I talk about the country which has topped this particular report, it is basically Germany and Canada who have together topped this particular report. And here you can see that in the IER ranking of the top 10 countries, here when I talk about India's position has consistently improved. And guys, here you can see that it was basically 6th position in 2019 and it was 3rd position in 2021, and we are expecting that we will be climbing up to the 2nd position by year 2022. So this is a very important finding from this particular report, because India's specific finding, India's rank is also very much important from the exam point of view. Now the next question is on the World Population Prospects 2022. Once again the question on the similar line, that is the releasing body, that which organization has come up. A very halwa question guys. You have really covered this particular kind of report so many times, because it is really very almost in the news articles. So please tell me that which organization has released the World Population Prospects 2022. Is it UNESCO, World Bank, UNDP or the United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs? So here guys, the right answer to the question is once again the United Nations Department of Economic and Social Affairs, which has come up with this report, that is World Population Prospects 2022. So guys, here to the question number 43, the right answer is option D, and Divya, Rahul, Nilesh, Sejal, everybody has answered the question correctly, that is यूनाइटेड नेशंस डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ इकोनॉमिक एंड सोशल अफेयर्स। तो यहाँ पर सबसे इंपॉर्टेंट चीज क्या है, हमने देखा कि रिलीजिंग बॉडी कौन सी है, तो हमें ये भी देखना होगा कि इंपॉर्टेंट फाइंडिंग्स क्या है। तो व्हेन आई टॉक अबाउट द ग्लोबल पॉपुलेशन, इट विल बी 8 बिलियन ऑन द November 15, 2022 and it is expected to grow to 8.5 billion by 2030. So these kind of estimates, these kind of forecasts made by such kind of reports, they are always being asked in the exam, and that's why it is really very important from the exam point of view. Now the next important thing is that when I talk about the global life expectancy at birth, it is also going to fall from 72.8 to 71 years in 2021. So these are the important findings that you should remember from the exam point of view, that are very important to be covered from the exam point of view. Now guys, the next question is once again on the same report, and here you are required to tell me that by which year India is going to surpass. See, from the past few years we are getting this so many times ki India is going to surpass China in terms of population. Now the question before you here is that by which year, as per this report, India is going to surpass the China as the most populated country across the world. And here the options are 2023, 2026, 2024, 28 and 2030. So the question number 44, absolutely right guys, the right answer is 2023, that is option 1. So it is the right answer. moving on to the next question. Now the next question is on the world's greatest places of 2022, and here you are required to tell me the name of the releasing body once again, that what exactly is the right answer. See, whenever you are covering any report, see, always cover the very first important dimension, that is the releasing body. And now the second thing is the framework of that particular report. Then you are required to cover the important rankings, important findings, and the important recommendations given by that report. And all these, if you are covering all these dimensions, then you are going to ace in the exam. So guys, here the right answer is Time Magazine, which has come up with the world greatest places of 2022. So Rahul, Sejal, Nilesh, everybody has answered the question correctly. That is Time Magazine. So guys, now the next question is that which of the following Indian cities has been listed among the 50 extraordinary destinations to explore? See, once again there is a question on the India specific finding. The report's name is World's Greatest Places of 2022. So whenever you are covering any report, always make sure that you are covering the dimensions. इंडिया स्पेसिफिक फाइंडिंग आपने कवर की है या नहीं की है, ऑलवेज ट्राई टू सीक आउट दैट. सो जब हम बात करते हैं वर्ल्ड्स ग्रेटेस्ट प्लेसेस ऑफ 2022 रिपोर्ट और इंडिया के वो सिटीज व्हिच वर देयर इन द 50 एक्स्ट्राऑर्डिनरी डेस्टिनेशंस टू एक्सप्लोर, सो गाइस हियर द राइट आंसर इज ऑप्शन नंबर 2, दैट इज अहमदाबाद. सो बेसिकली केरला एंड अहमदाबाद व्हिच इज इन द गुजरात हैव बीन लिस्टेड among the 50 extraordinary destinations to explore as per the world's greatest places of 2022. Very well done. Moving on to the next question. The next question is on a very, very important report, and the report is the State Ranking Index for the National Food Security Act. And this question is basically on the second dimension that I already told you about the reports and indices, that is the framework. So this particular question says that which of the following statements are correct with regard to the pillars across which the states and union territories have been ranked by this particular index, that is the State Ranking Index for the National Food Security Act. See guys, as I want to tell you here that in the RBI Grade B Phase 2 exam there was a question on the NFSA Act. ठीक है जी, दैट वन नेशन वन राशन कार्ड के अंदर जो हम फूड सिक्योरिटी प्रोवाइड कर रहे हैं वो कौन से एक्ट के तहत कर रहे हैं, दैट इज एनएफएसए एक्ट 2013. सो उसी एनएफएसए एक्ट के ऊपर यहाँ पर एक पूरी की पूरी रिपोर्ट बन गई है, दैट इज द स्टेट्स रैंकिंग इंडेक्स फॉर द नेचुरल फूड सिक्योरिटी एक्ट. एंड नाउ इन दिस पर्टिकुलर पार्ट यू आर रिक्वायर्ड टू आइडेंटिफाई द करेक्ट स्टेटमेंट विद रिगार्ड्स टू द पिलर अक्रॉस व्हिच द स्टेट्स हैव बीन असेस्ड बाय द रिपोर्ट. एंड एब्सोल्युटली राइट, नीलेश, राहुल, सेजल, everybody is rocking today. The right answer guys here is option number 5, as when I talk about the three pillars across which the states and UTs have been ranked, so these are, first of all, the first pillar is coverage, targeting and provisions. The second important pillar is the delivery platform, and the third pillar is the nutrition initiatives. And these are the three pillars, and that is absolutely the right answer. So here guys, all the three particular pillars has been mentioned here, that is the delivery platform, nutrition initiatives, and the coverage, targeting and provisions of the act. So this is a very, very important report, and the next question is on the same. As we have discussed that what exactly is the parameters are, what are the three pillars, and now you are required to tell me the state which has topped in this particular index. So quickly tell me that which of the following states has been adjudged as the top ranked state amongst the general category states. See, this particular report basically divides the Indian states and UTs across some categories, and this question is about the general category states. So quickly tell me that what is the right answer. So here I am getting the right answers. People are saying that Odisha is the right answer. Absolutely right guys. So here you can see that among the general category states and the union territories, the top performer was Odisha with a score of 0.836, followed by Uttar Pradesh and Andhra Pradesh. And here you are also required to remember that which of the following is the worst performer, and that is none other than Goa, which is on the 20th position with a score of 0.631. See the exam, this can also be asked, so you are required to remember this particular fact as well. Now before moving on to the next part, here you can see that another important ranking has been mentioned as per this particular report, that is of the special category. See, earlier we have covered the general category, now we are covering the special category. तो special category के अंदर जो हमारी नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न स्टेट्स है, हिमालयन स्टेट्स है और आइलैंड रीजन्स हैं, तो उसके अंदर किसने टॉप किया है? द त्रिपुरा वाज द top performer, then Ladakh was the worst performer with a score of 0.412. तो हमने देखा कि जनरल कैटेगरी में it was Odisha, and now in the special category it is basically Tripura which has topped this particular index. Now moving on to the next question. The next question is on the Global Findex Database 2021 report. Quickly tell me that what exactly is the name of the body which has released this report, that is the Global Findex Database 2021 report. Is it ADB, World Bank, UNDP, IMF or the World Trade Organization? So guys, the question number 49, what is the right answer? The question is on the Global Findex Database 2021 report, and here the right answer is World Bank. So guys, this report is very important from the exam point of view. As we can also see that the RBI phase 2 exam, there was a question on the World Bank's Human Capital Index. So all such kind of reports which are being released by these important international organizations, that is the World Bank, IMF, United Nations. Then when you talk about India, the ministry's report, Niti Aayog report, they are always very important from the exam point of view. So World Bank is the right answer. Now in the next question, you are required to tell me that as per this report, what exactly is the percentage of the unbanked adults globally which have cited as a religion as a barrier. ठीक है जी, जिन्होंने रिलीजन को एज अ बैरियर यहाँ पर साइट किया है और वो अनबैंक्ड हैं, तो उन व्हाट एग्जैक्टली इज द परसेंटेज ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर एडल्ट्स? इज इट 25%, 30%, 20%, 15% or the 10%? And guys, here the right answer is option number 5, that is 10%. So 10% is the right answer. So basically 10% of the adult population across the world have cited religion as a barrier, that religion is basically the reason that why they are still unbanked. Apart from that, when I talk about the extreme situations in some countries, so it is basically Iraq and Morocco where 24 and 19% of the people are unbanked, and the reason behind that is their religion. So here this is the right answer to the question. The right answer is option number 5, that is 10%. So let's move on to the next question. Next question is on the Global Gender Gap Index 2022. Once again, quickly tell me that what is the right answer. Which of the following organizations has come up with this particular report, that is the Global Gender Gap Index 2022? Let's see who will answer the question correctly. So this is the report which basically assesses the progress of the countries towards the gender parity. ठीक है, तो आपको मुझे बताना है कि कौन सी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इसको रिलीज किया है, एंड द नेम ऑफ दैट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इज वर्ल्ड इकोनॉमिक फोरम. सो वेरी गुड राहुल, द राइट आंसर इज the World Economic Forum. So Rahul, Nilesh, Sejal, everybody have answered the question correctly. Divya have answered the question correctly. So guys, here you can see when I talk about the different parameters, the dimensions across which the countries have been assessed. So it are economic participation and opportunity, the education attainment, health and survival, and the political empowerment. So this is the right answer. Moving on to the next question. The next question is on a very important finding, that by which year all the world will be having the gender parity. That means how much time, how much years it will take to reach the gender parity by the world. So you are just required to tell me this particular time in the terms of years, that how much year it will take to achieve the gender parity across the world. And here to the question number 52, right answer is 132 years. So guys, 132 years the time where that it is going to take to reach the gender parity. Now there is a very important question, that what exactly is the India's rank in the Global Gender Gap Index? So here the options are 140th, 139th, 138th, 135th or 134th. So quickly tell me in the comment section what is the right answer to the question Global Gender Gap Report. What is exactly India's rank? See, out of the 146 countries, India was basically on the 135th position, and that is option number 4 is the right answer to this question. Now there is an important other question for all of you, that you are required to tell me that what exactly is the name of the country which has topped in the Global Gender Gap Index, and also tell me that what exactly is the name of the country which was the worst performer in the Global Gender Gap Index. Let's see who will answer the question. See guys, the Global Gender Gap Index is a very important topic. This is a part of the gender issues, and that is why you are really required to cover that. And recently we all know that there was the International Women's Day which has already been celebrated this year. Lot of initiatives have been taken. Nari Shakti Puraskar was there. There was the Kanya Shiksha Pravesh Utsav. So these are the important programs as well that you are really required to remember. So I am getting the right answers, and people are saying that Iceland is the country which has topped this particular index, and Afghanistan was the worst performer. Very well done guys. Iceland is the country which was the top performer, and Afghanistan was the country which was the worst performer in this particular index. Really glad to see that all of you are rocking today and giving the answers correctly. Now let's move on to the next question. So guys, the next question is on the NIRF ranking. Recently, the 7th National Institutional Ranking Framework was being launched, and here you are required to tell me that which among the following universities has topped in the universities category for the 7th consecutive year. See, why exactly this is special? First of all, this is the 7th edition, and here you can see and make an observation that this particular university is topping this particular ranking from the very initial stages of this particular rank, that is the National Institutional Ranking Framework. And guys, when I talk about the right answer is Indian Institute of Science Bengaluru, which is really rocking like you guys in this particular ranking, as it is topping this particular ranking since the last 7 years. So guys, here this is, you can see that ISA Bangalore was the first one. But when I talk about the architecture, in the architecture subject, the university which was on the top, it was IIT Roorkee. So IIT Roorkee stand at the first position in the architecture subject. But when we talk about the overall, then it was basically IIT Bangalore which was first in the research institutions category for the 2nd consecutive year. So these are the important things that you should remember. Let's move on to the next question, and the next question is on another important report, that is States Startup Ranking 2021 on support to startup ecosystem. So quickly tell me that which one of the following is the name of the organization which has come up with this particular report. And here the options are Department of Promotion and Industry and Internal Trade, then Niti Aayog, DARPG 1 and 2, only all of the above. So guys, here when I talk about the right answer to this particular question, the releasing body for this report on the startup ecosystems across the country, the right answer is DPIIT, that is Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade. So guys, that was all from the report session. If you guys are having any kind of queries, you can ask, and otherwise we will conclude it, and I will be welcoming Kritika ma'am to this particular session, and she will be taking the banking and finance part. So guys, quickly tell me if you are having any kind of queries. Otherwise, I will be bringing Kritika ma'am here for the next session of this particular session. So I think that there are no more queries about the reports and this part. So guys, still if you find any query, what you can do, you can call us on this particular number, and you can also send your email at hello@edutap.co.in. Okay? So Kritika ma'am, so ma'am, all over to you. And
hello everyone, I hope you have studied everything very clearly till now, and now we will be starting with the banking reforms as well as the current finance current affairs. Okay, so the first question is in front of you, and it is a very important index that has been recently released by the Reserve Bank of India, that is the Reserve Bank of India Digital Payment Index. So I hope that all of you know this answer. I have currently taken a session on this report also, index also, and I hope that you are very clear with it. Let me tell you that in the previous year examinations of the NABARD also, the questions like this have been asked, okay, from the important indexes, from the important notifications of the RBI also, or important changes that has been coming in the banking sector, okay, and who brings change in the banking sector? The RBI brings it, okay. So here the question is, the RBI DPI comprises of 5 broad parameters. So this index comprises of 5 broad parameters, and you have to tell that which of these parameters have the lowest weightage in the index. So yes, I am getting the answer E. Nilesh is saying consumer centricity has 5% of the weightage, and that is absolutely correct. And everyone is giving the right answer, so that is correct, consumer centricity, and this has the lowest weightage, okay, that is 5%, and the highest weightage is to the payment performance. So here you can see that E is the right answer, and this is the percentage to weightages to different segments, okay, different parameters. And the highest weightage in the index, in the digital payment index, the highest weightage is given to the payment performance, and the lowest weightage is given to the consumer centricity. A question has been asked in the previous RBI Grade B examination, as well as NABARD can also ask such kind of questions, okay. So now the next question regarding the DPI, RBI DPI index is this, that for the March 2022, this index has been released, and this index has been released in July only, in July 29th, I guess. So recently only this index has been released, and this index caters to for March 2022, and this index, digital payment index, is released twice in a year, okay, or we can say it is on the semi-annual basis till March 2022, as well as there will be a index that will be released in September 2022, okay, that will be for September 2022, that will be released in January, okay. So here I am getting the answer from Parmesh Patel and Nilesh. That is, the answer is C, and that is absolutely correct. It is 349.30. That is the data for the index for the March 2022. Okay, so the March data is released on the July of the year. Okay, March 2022 data is released on July 2022, and the September 2022 data for this index will be released on January 2022. So for this year, the data has already been released for the March 2022. Okay, so now coming to the next, this is the whole index. For the September 2021, the data was 304.06, and now it is March 2022. For March 2022, the data is this. So coming to the next question, that is regarding the urban cooperative banks. So RBI has revised the regulatory framework for the urban cooperative banks, and the RBI has said that the CRAR will be raised to what percentage? CRAR is very important. The net worth you have to understand, and the CRAR you have to remember for different banks. Okay, so the minimum CRAR you have to tell. So the minimum CRAR for the tier 2, tier 3 and tier 4 will be 12%, Nilesh is saying, and that is absolutely correct. For the tier 1, the percentage will remain 9%, but for the tier 2, 3 and 4, the percentage will be changed to 12%. So here is the data. The minimum CRAR requirement for the tier 1 banks is retained at 9% only, but for the other tiers, of the urban cooperative banks, the data has been, the CRAR has been raised to 12%, and this has been recently released in July 2022 only. Okay. So now coming to the next question, you have to tell that recently in July 2022, which of the following banks has announced the launch of its WhatsApp banking services to make banking easier for its customers and help them fulfill a slew of banking requirements from the comfort of their homes. So which of these banks has recently released the WhatsApp banking services? That you have to tell. So this is, here the answer is A, that is the State Bank of India has recently released the WhatsApp banking services for the customers. Okay, yes, Nilesh is saying the right answer. And now the next question is that recently in July 2022, which of the following banks has launched its mobile app AI1? This was quite in news very recently only, and you have to tell that which of these bank has launched this AI1 mobile banking app. Okay, so here Sai Rohit is saying A is not the right answer for this question. For the 60th question, what should be the right answer for this one? It is Canara Bank. Canara Bank is the one. Canara Bank AI1 is the mobile banking app that has been launched. Okay, yes, D is the right answer. And Airjohn has also said Canara Bank, and Nilesh is also saying Canara Bank. That is correct. The Canara Bank has launched AI1 app. Okay, so this is the Canara Bank AI1, the banking super app that is being called, and it has 250 features, and the Canara Bank wants that most of the banking services should be completed from this app. They should not, the customer should not go to different apps to get different services. So all the services should be provided through this AI1 app. That is the vision of the Canara Bank. Okay. So the next question is regarding the ACC, that is the Appointments Committee of the Cabinet, and it has said that the Department of the Financial Services should convert the BBB, that is the Banks Board Bureau, into the Financial Services Institutions Bureau. Okay, so the Banks Board Bureau has to be converted into the Financial Services Institutions Bureau. Okay. The ACC decides on appointments of all the higher levels of the Cabinet Secretariat, public enterprises, banks and all. Who is the ex-officio chairman of the ACC? That you have to tell. And this is a easy question, I can say, and you should know that who is the chairman of this ACC. Okay, a very important person is a chairman of this committee, because it chooses the most important positions. Okay, it fills the most important positions, we can say. So yes, Igon and Nilesh both are saying Prime Minister, and that is correct. The Prime Minister is the one that is the chairman of the ACC, that is the Appointments Committee of the Cabinet. So here, this committee, the government revamps BBB, that is the Bank Boards Bureau, into the Financial Services Institutions Bureau. The Prime Minister in 2016 has approved the constitution of the BBB, but there is many problems that is coming for the BBB, and it has been said under the by the Delhi High Court that the BBB should be stopped, and that's why the revamp has been made and from BBB to the Financial Services Institutions Bureau. Okay, so all of these sessions I have already taken. I hope you have understood those sessions, and I hope that you remember the news articles. Okay, so now coming to the next question here. Which of the following banks has launched its metaverse virtual launch called Universe as well as Open Banking Sandbox environment in July 2022? This you have to tell. A bank has been doing really well in the this digital platform, so you have to tell that which is that platform. Okay, so tell me the answer. Yes, okay, I am getting the answer for this, and it is E, that is Union Bank of India. This bank is doing really well in the digital platform. Yes, Union Bank of India. Ijon is saying Union Bank of India, and that is absolutely correct. This bank is doing really well in the digital platform, in the digital area, and that you can see that it has launched the metaverse also. So the metaverse is a lounge type of thing, and this metaverse is known as the Universe. Okay, here the customers of this bank will be getting this service. Now next question is, as per the recent changes made by the Union Home Ministry in July 2022, Indians are now permitted to receive up to rupees annually from the foreign relatives, or from the foreign relations that they have, compared to the earlier limit that was of rupees 1 lakh from the relatives who live overseas without notifying the authorities. So you have to tell that the limit has been raised from 1 lakh to what, that you have to tell. Okay, so yes, I am getting the answer A. A is not the correct answer. The answer for this one is C. Okay, 10 lakh. The limit has been raised from 1 lakh to 10 lakh. So the Indians will be able to get from their relatives, they will be able to get 10 lakh. So yes, Divya, everyone is saying 10 lakh, but that is not the answer. It is rupees. Everyone is saying 5 lakh, but that was not the answer. The answer was 10 lakh. Okay, so the Union Home Ministry has amended the certain rules related to Foreign Contribution Regulation Act. Okay, so the Union Home Ministry has done this, and the limit has been raised from 1 lakh to 10 lakh. If you receive up to 10 lakh in a year, you do not have to notify the authorities, you do not have to notify the government. Okay, so now the next question is regarding that also, regarding the FCRA, that is the Foreign Contribution Regulation Act. You have to tell that according to the new regulations under this, what the Union Ministry has said, under the new regulations, organizations, especially the NGOs that receive foreign funding, are not permitted to utilize more than what percentage of those funds for administrative needs. Before the percentage was 50%, now you have to tell that what is the new percentage as per the new regulations. So here the answer will be 20%. That is correct answer. Nilesh is saying D, and that is 20%. That is correct. Okay, so before they were getting 50%, they could use 50% for the administrative needs, but now they will be able to use only 20% for the administrative needs. Now coming to this question, according to the official data that has been released regarding the banks, the number of fraud cases in the private as well as the public sector banks dropped. We are talking about the frauds that were happening of 100 crores and above. Okay, so that number has dropped of those cases. In terms of cumulative amount, frauds has come down to dash from 65,900 crore in financial year 21 for the public sector banks. You have to tell for the public sector banks, the data has come down from 65,900 crores to what now. Okay, so here the right answer will be D, that is 28,000 crores. So you can see that data has come down to a lot, from 65,000 up to 66,000 approximately. We have come, the public sector bank have come down to 28,000. So here you can see that the public sector banks has come down from 65,900 crore to 28,000, and for the private sector banks also the data has decreased. Okay, so now the next question is regarding the SBI Cap Ventures Limited. This is a subsidiary of the SBI that has signed a MOU, that is the Memorandum of Understanding, with which of the following ministries. You have to tell this, and this Memorandum of Understanding is for the Trilateral Development Cooperation Fund for joint projects with global partners. Okay, so you have to tell that which ministry is the one that has signed the MOU with the subsidiary of the SBI. So here the Ministry of Home Affairs, Ministry of Finance, Ministry of External Affairs, Ministry of Communications and Information Technology, or the Ministry of Electronics and IT, which is the correct answer. So I'm getting the answer C, and that is absolutely correct, because here we are talking about the global partners. So by the term itself you can guess a little that it will be regarding the external affairs. Okay. So this is the news article that SBI subsidiary signs MOU with the MEA, that is the Ministry of External Affairs. Okay. Next question is regarding the CPI inflation. So you have to, the CPI inflation data for the June has been released in the July month. So you have to tell that what is the data of the CPI inflation, consumer price index inflation, that what is the percentage for that. Okay. Before it was 7.79% in around April. It came down to 7.04% in the May, and then it came down to what percentage that you have to tell. So here the answer will be 7.01%. So the data has come down from 7.04% to 7.01%. So you can see that the CPI inflation is going down, but it is still greater than what it should be. Means the percentage should be in between 2 to 6%. This is the limit that has been set by that the RBI follows, that the inflation should have the lower limit of 2% and the upper limit of 6%. The inflation should not go beyond 6%, but it has been beyond 6% for quite a time, we can say. But still it is going down, so that is a good news, we can say. So now coming to the next question. This is, recently the Reserve Bank of India has put in place a mechanism for the facilitation of the international trade in the Indian rupees. So with immediate effect this has been done. Indian importers undertaking import via this mechanism will make payment in INR, which will be credited into the dash account. So you have to tell the name of that account. Okay. So yes, so the name of that account is what? This was a very popular news in the current time frame, because the Russia-Ukraine war was there and there were many problems that were going on, and due to that there was much depreciation that was happening of our currency, that you must have seen, and the currency went $1 equal to 80 rupees. That is quite a low for the Indian rupees. So you have to tell that which is the account in which the INR could be credited, and I am getting the answer Vostro, and that is correct. It is a special Vostro account in which the money can be credited. Okay, so I have already taken a session, in-depth session in this one. If you are confused about the international settlement that can happen in the INR, you can see that video and have the clarity of mind and have the clarity of this news article. This is a very important news article as it is related to what is going on in the country. Okay, as well as it might be asked in the phase 2, or it might be asked in the interview also. So you have to have the clarity of what is going on in the economy at least. So now this is the whole news article. I have already taken a session, in-depth session in this news article. Okay. So now coming to the second question, that is related to the Vostro account only. And if the Vostro account has surplus money, what can be done with the surplus money, that you have to tell. Okay, so here recently in July 2022 the RBI has said that the international trade can happen in the INR. So you have to tell that the surplus money that is kept in the new accounts, in the new Vostro accounts, what can happen with that. So all of these can happen with the surplus money. Okay, that is the payments for the projects and the investments can be done. The export or import advanced flow management can be done with the surplus money that is in the Vostro accounts, or the investment in government treasury bills can be done with the additional money. So all of the above is the correct answer. So here I have told you in that session in which I explained the special Vostro account and everything, that all of this is possible. Okay, that payments, the export import advance flow, the investment in the different bills, different securities and all. So now coming to the last question of the finance current affairs, that is regarding the UCBs only. Recently the RBI has given the regulatory framework for the UCBs. You have to tell that what is the minimum requirement for the net worth for the tier 1 UCBs that is operating in single districts. Okay, what is the minimum requirement? So I can tell you the minimum requirement for the other tiers, that is tier 2, tier 3 and the tier 4, as well as the tier 1 UCBs that are operating in different districts. The minimum requirement is 5 crore. You have to tell that what is the minimum requirement for the tier 1 UCBs that is operating in only one district. Okay, so I'm getting the answer from Nilesh, that is 3 crore, but that is not correct. The correct answer for this one is 2 crore. Okay, so here is the correct answer for the UCBs that are operating, specifically a minimum net worth of 2 crore for the tier 1 UCVs that is operating in the single districts. So I hope you have understood the news article, like you can see that news articles and you can understand it clearly. I have taken most of the important news articles, important finance current affairs I have covered in my finance current affairs series, so that you have the in-depth knowledge, or you can have the minimum knowledge to give the answers in the exam. Okay, so I hope you have understood the news articles in that session, and here you have got a good revision with all these questions. Okay, so all the very best for the exam. Now I will invite Ekta ma'am for the ARD session, and she will be taking the ARD questions. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Okay, students, now we will take a look at the ARD current affair. As you all know, NABARD is there, so ARD current affair become very important section for your NABARD examination, and you can miss anything, but you can't miss ARD current affairs. So let's start our section. So the question number 1 is, for the ARD current affair, which of the following state or UT has launched the smart urban farming to encourage the kitchen garden? So now what is this smart urban farming we are talking about? So your smart urban farming refers to developing the gardens in such a way that it will help your farmers or the grower to substantiate their daily need. Okay, they will get daily fruits or the vegetable from that particular garden. So this urban smart garden, or especially the urban farming, that is done in vertical columns, and the main aim here is to get fresh food and fresh vegetable for the day, not for like commercial purpose. It's not for commercial purpose, it's for your own needs. Okay, and especially in this particular smart urban farming, the state said that the garden will be developed organically. So organic is important. Then what is smart urban farming is important, and you have to remember that this is a vertical farming. Okay, and the correct answer here, very good. Most people have given the right answer, and the correct answer will be your Delhi. So now let's move to our next question. Recently in July 2022, KVIC launched a new portal for Khadi. The KVIC comes under which of the following ministries? So KVIC will remain in your news, and it's an important institute if you are preparing the ARD current affair. Okay, so KVIC, responsible for Khadi products and village. Okay, so here you have to tell under which ministry it comes. And if you talk about this particular portal, so you all know that KVIC with NIFT Institute has established the Center of Excellence. So this particular portal was developed for that Center of Excellence. Okay, so you have to remember the Center of Excellence, and it was in collaboration with NIFT. And the first center was opened at, again, Delhi, and you have to tell the ministry here, and most people are giving the correct answer. That will be your MSME, Ministry of MSME. So students, this particular current affair is very important because it is in continuation. Okay, in June you will study that the first Center of Excellence was set up in Delhi, and then the portal was launched. Okay, so both of them are important, and the name of the portal was Center of Excellence Portal for Khadi. So I hope this is all clear. Now let's move to our next question. On the event of National Conclave on Dragon Fruit, the center has decided to promote the cultivation of dragon fruit in dash hectare of area. So this particular conclave usually focus one fruit at a time. So this time in year 2022 we focused on dragon fruit. So you all know dragon fruit is very good for your health, and it's basically majorly cultivated in Vietnam, and its origin is of Mexico. So here you have to tell how much area government targeted, okay, under this particular conclave. So if you don't know the answer, don't worry, the correct answer will be your 50,000 hectares. Okay, and do remember this particular target and about the dragon fruit and the conclave. Okay, the question can simply be where this particular target was set, so you should remember the name of the conclave too. So now let's move to our next question. If you have any query, do let me know. Dash is drafting the model by law to make primary agriculture credit societies multi-purpose vibrant business entities. So to make active PACs or to provide more fund to our PACs, which ministry is proposing or drafting a model by law? So you have to tell here. Okay. The options are your Ministry of Agriculture and Farmers Welfare, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Ministry of Cooperation, Ministry of Micro, Small and Medium Enterprises, or Niti Aayog. So the answer seem like it will be Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare, because we are talking about agriculture credit societies. But see, we have to focus on the purpose. So the purpose is to develop the agriculture in a cooperative manner. So that will be your Ministry of Cooperation. Very good. Most people have given the right answer, and that will be Ministry of Cooperation. Okay. So now let's move to our next question. Dash signed an agreement with Jammu and Kashmir to boost cultivation of saffron and other temperate crop. So you have to tell the name of the other state in the agreement. Okay, so you all know, if we are talking about Jammu Kashmir's saffron is cultivated there. So recently we have heard that the National Saffron Mission was expanded to northeastern states. Okay, so if you don't know the answer among the Himachal Pradesh, Assam, Sikkim, Uttarakhand, Meghalaya, I'll give you the hint. So this particular agreement talk about growing the saffron in an organic manner. So by this try to guess. Okay, see, India's first organic state, which was the India's first organic state? It was again announced in 2022, so you have to tell. So India's first organic state was Sikkim. Okay, so that's why the answer will be Sikkim. And in this agreement, how we can develop saffron and other temperate crop in a organic manner, that was discussed. Okay, so now let's move to our next question. Department of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare and International Rice Research Institute, IRRI, signed a MOA, Memorandum of Agreement, to commence the phase 2 activity of dash. Your option are ISARC, CERVA, CSIA, CIERD, or none of the above. So the correct answer will be ISAR. So what is ISAR? Simply it is IRRI, South Asian Regional Center for Activity. Okay, so the memorandum was signed by that. Why? To promote the rice cultivation in the South Asian region. Okay, so now let's move to our next question. Tripura inaugurated its first gas-based tea processing plant at dash. So you have to tell the name of the district where this particular plant was set up. Okay, your option are Kowai, South Tripura, Gomti, West Tripura, or North Tripura. Okay, these are your districts in Tripura, and try to guess the right answer. So again, what will be the aim of this particular processing plant? It will be to make it pollution-free, or less pollution generation, or you can call it eco-friendly. So your correct answer will be West Tripura. Okay, so now let's move to our next question. 22nd National Fish Farmer Day was celebrated on dash. So here no trick is there, you will have to remember the day. Your option are 18 July, 10th July, 21 July, 31 July, 1 July of 2022. So in 2022 it was 22nd edition, and you will have to tell the day. Okay, so your correct answer will be 10 July. Okay, do remember if you don't know it, and if you know it, very good. So now let's move to our next question. Dash signed an MOU with AAU to conduct the training programs for pre-harvest and post-harvest management. Your option are BHU, GBPU, AT, AAU, PAU, IARI. So hereby this memorandum was signed due to promote the post-harvest technology. Okay, we are not focusing on production here. Again, we are talking about after the production, how can we keep the crop, how can we use the crop, and that all. So among these, your correct answer will be AAU, that is Assam Agriculture University. Okay, they and APIDA signed. Okay, yeah, that will be APIDA. That was question. So APIDA and AAU signed MOU. Why? To promote the post-harvest technology in the post-harvest management in the northeastern region. Okay, so now let's move to our next question. How much onion buffer stock is maintained by the government for financial year 2022-2023? Your option are 0.5 lakh metric ton, 1 lakh metric ton, 2 lakh metric ton, 2.5 lakh metric ton, 3 lakh metric ton. So the correct answer will be, okay, see why the buffer stock will be maintained. Again, once the price start rising, the government will release this stock in the market to control the prices. Okay, so here you have to tell how much we need to maintain the buffer stock, and the correct answer will be Yes, very good, very good. That will be 2.5 lakh metric ton. Okay, so do remember the data. Here's no shortcut how you can remember it. And now let's move to our next question. Recently, the foundation stone for the South India's first nano urea plant was laid at where? Your option are Chennai, Cochin, Bengaluru, Hyderabad or Mangaluru. Okay, so again, when we are talking about nano urea plant, so here the main attraction will be liquid urea that was announced. And why liquid urea is good? Because it's more efficient. Okay, so do remember this, and your correct answer will be yes, that is Bengaluru. Very good. Okay, now let's move to our next question. Central government approves a massive cluster of mangoes in Lucknow, which will be worth 100 crores over the next dash year. So you'll have to tell how much year it will take to grow it over to the value of 100 crores. Your option are 3, 5, 7, 10 and 15. Okay. See here the point why government need the cluster of mangoes again to promote the program, to promote the fasal or the crop of mangoes. So your correct answer here will be 5 year. Okay. So now let's move to our next question. Recently in July 2022, the government permitted to spray the fungicide using drones. So which company was the first company that was allowed to spread this fungicides? Okay, it is the only company in India, so you should remember the name. Your option are Syngenta India, RCF, Bharat Rasayan Limited, UPL or BASF. Yes, that's a fertilizer company that you, pesticide company, and you have to remember the name. The answer will be Syngenta India. Again, there are no shortcut here. We are using drone technology in agriculture and it was a push to that. Very good. Most people have given the right answer. Okay, now let's move to our next question. Recently, in July 2022, Indo-German Global Academy for Agroecology Research and Learning was launched at which of the following state? Your option are Uttar Pradesh, Delhi, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh or none of the above. Oh, sorry, that much is your answers and you'll have to get the answer from here. Okay, here you'll have to know the correct answer is Andhra Pradesh. Again, what will be the use of that particular academy, setting up the academy? To promote the ecological agriculture. Okay, so we are promoting environment and agriculture together. That will be the aim of the particular institute. So now let's move to our next question. Recently in July 2022, Ministry of Agriculture and Farmer Welfare launched dash edition of agriculture census. So you know government has announced that how we will launch the particular agriculture census, and the data will be starting to collect in August. Okay, it's a this particular census come in 5 years, so you have to tell ये addition कौन सा होगा, and this particular addition was pushed due to the corona. So 9, 10, 11, 12, 13th you have to tell the correct answer. Again, the report is not released. The data has, the government just started to collect the data. Okay, so the agriculture ministry has announced the particular census. Okay, don't get confused about the data. Very good. Most people have given the correct answer. That is answer C. That is 11th. So I hope you'll find this particular current affairs session important for your NABARD examination. Now I like to invite Devanshu sir to cover more ESI question that you can help in your exam. Okay. Thank you so much.
Ekta. So guys, a very beautiful session taken by Ekta ma'am. And now as we all know that we have already covered all the important topics that were time taking, that needed time, and the discussion about the questions. And now guys, there will be a rapid fire round. Okay, we will be covering the remaining questions very quickly. Okay, so I really want all of you कि अपनी अपनी पेटी बांध दीजिए क्योंकि अब हम 5th gear में गाड़ी चलाने वाले हैं. ठीक है guys, so here is the next question, the very first question from the economics and social issues part, and the very first question about the question is the Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission Conference 2022. So here you are going to tell me that India accounts for what percentage of the worldwide supply of the generic medicines by volume. See, recently such kind of conference was taken place, और आपको मुझे बताना है कि इंडिया बेसिकली कितना अकाउंट करता है of the worldwide supply for the generic medicine. So we all know that we are working towards this particular initiative. So guys, when I talk about the right answer, the percentage that India accounts for, here the right answer to the question number 86 is 20%. So 20% is the right answer. All the people who are giving the right answer as the 20%, it is absolutely right guys. So here you can see that Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission conference was held at Vigyan Bhavan in the New Delhi और थीम उसकी थी addressing medicine quality for the future। ठीक है, तो आप यहाँ पर देख सकते हो कि India accounts for 20% of the worldwide supply of generic medicines by volume। So these are the important takeaways from this particular session, from this particular question। So Nilesh, Rahul, Divya, Nilesh and Parmesh, everybody have answered the question correctly. That is option number B। ठीक है जी, moving on to the next question। The next question is on the India's first right to health bill। In this question you are required to tell me कि which Indian state government has recently announced that it is going to launch India's first right to health bill। See, basically what exactly is the aim of that? The aim of that is to commit to the quality and affordable healthcare services through the government and private healthcare providers, and the right answer to this particular question, the name of the state is basically Rajasthan। That is option number 5 is the right answer। Rajasthan has recently announced to come up with the India's first right to health bill। Moving on to the next question। So the next question is on the Swachh Sagar Surakshit Sagar campaign। So recently the Swachh Sagar Surakshit Sagar campaign was being launched, and now you are required to tell me कि इस कैंपेन को कौन सी मिनिस्ट्री ने लॉन्च किया था, कौन सी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ने लॉन्च किया था। ठीक है, वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कैंपेन, एज द नेम सजेस्ट, स्वच्छ सागर सुरक्षित सागर। तो बहुत ही इजी है, इसको याद रखना गाइस। तो अब आपको मुझे बताना है कि कौन से ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है जिन्होंने इसको मिलकर ऑर्गेनाइज किया है। एंड हियर when I talk about the right answer includes all of the above। That is the Ministry of Earth Sciences, Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change। Then we have Indian Coast Guard, National Disaster Management Authority, जिन्होंने मिलकर ये स्वच्छ सागर सुरक्षित सागर नाम के कैंपेन को ऑर्गेनाइज किया है recently। Let's move on to the next question। So the next question is, which of the following companies, see here you are required to tell me the name of the company which has signed an MOU with the government of Rajasthan। तो राजस्थान गवर्नमेंट के साथ एक recently MOU साइन किया गया थे कंपनी द्वारा for the development of 10 gigawatt ultra mega renewable energy power plant। तो अब आपको मुझे बताना है कि बेसिकली उस कंपनी का नाम क्या है जिसने रिसेंटली इस पर्टिकुलर MOU को साइन किया है with the Indian state of Rajasthan। And here guys the right answer is NTPC Renewable Energy Limited। So when I talk about this particular MOU, the MOU was being signed and this has been signed between the government of Rajasthan and NTPC REL। और इसी तरीके का एक और MOU साइन किया गया था, और क्या नाम है उस पर्टिकुलर गवर्नमेंट का जिसके साथ ये MOU साइन हुआ था? That is first of all the name of the state is तमिलनाडु। तमिलनाडु का ये MOU साइन हुआ है टाटा पावर के साथ। That is for the development of greenfield 4 gigawatt solar cell and 4 gigawatt solar module manufacturing plant। So let's move on to the next question। So the next question is on the Power Finance Corporation। उन्होंने एक लोन एग्रीमेंट साइन किया है जापान बैंक के साथ for, and you are required to tell me that what exactly is the amount of that particular loan that has been signed to finance its renewable energy portfolio। तो renewable energy portfolio को फाइनेंस कराने के लिए एक particular MOU साइन हुआ है by the Power Finance Corporation with the Japan Bank for International Cooperation। तो आपको बस बेसिकली मुझे बताना है कि what exactly is the amount। Question number 90 guys, and here the right answer to the question is 30 billion। So basically the amount is 30 billion Japanese yen which will be provided, and this is the MOU which has been signed between the Power Finance Corporation and the Japan Bank for International Cooperation। So guys, here the right answer is option A। Well done Nilesh। So now moving on to the next question। So the next question is basically that recently we all know Indian Institute of Entrepreneurship in Guwahati has inked an MOU with the Incubation and Enterprise Support Center IIM Shillong। एंड आपको मुझे बताना है कि ये जो MOU है इसका बेसिकली एम क्या है। व्हाट एग्जैक्टली वाज द एम ऑफ कमिंग अप विद दिस काइंड ऑफ MOU व्हिच हैज बीन साइंड बिटवीन इंडियन इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप गुवाहाटी एंड द Incubation and Enterprise Support Center in IIM Shillong। So guys, here when I talk about the right answer to the question is they are basically aiming to boost the entrepreneurial ecosystem, and that is why this particular MOU has been signed। और इस MOU से क्या होगा, entrepreneurial ecosystem को हम boost करने वाले हैं नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न रीजन के अंदर। That is why it is really very much important। So here you can see the objective, that is to encourage the entrepreneurship, incubation and startups in the northeastern region। So that is the right answer। Now let's move on to the next question। The next question is on a very important data which is being released by CMIE, and it is saying that India's unemployment rate has increased to what percent of the total workforce in June 2022 from 7.12% in May 2022. So basically we are comparing the data of the May with respect to June, और यहाँ पर given है कि 7.12% was in the May, but what exactly it was in the month of June, that is what you are required to tell me here, that what exactly was the India's unemployment rate. And guys, here the right answer is 7.8%. So here you can see that unemployment rate in India has basically increased from 7.12% to 7.8% in June 2022. Moving on to the next question. The next question is about one of the initiative which is being released, which is being launched by the Google, that is School Innovation Program. ठीक है जी, तो Google ने recently यहाँ पर ये प्रोग्राम लॉन्च किया और आपको मुझे बताना है कि ये जो प्रोग्राम है इसके अंदर कितने स्टार्टअप्स को वो बेसिकली टारगेट करने वाला है. What exactly is the number of the startup that the Google will be targeting under this particular initiative which is being released by the Google? And guys, here the right answer is 10,000. So basically it will be targeting 10,000 startups under this particular program. ठीक है जी, moving on to the next question. The next question is that recently 6 Indian states have signed a first of its kind interstate declaration, and what exactly is the aim of that declaration? It is to combat the trafficking in the persons. तो आपको मुझे बताना है कि which of the following state is not one of these states. तो यहाँ पर आपको keywords देखने होंगे. What exactly is the keyword? The keyword is that 6 Indian states have signed this MOU, and you should remember the name of these 6 states. अगर आपको वो पता है, then only you will be able to answer this particular question. And here the right answer is Maharashtra, because Maharashtra do not belongs to that group of state which have signed up with this particular statement of intent in order to combat the trafficking in the person. So let's first of all see that what exactly those particular states are. So these are Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Kerala, Odisha, Tamil Nadu and Telangana. So these are the 6 states which have signed this particular declaration to combat the trafficking in the persons. Moving on to the next question. The next question is Department of Expenditure has released the 4th monthly installment of post devolution revenue deficit. और आपको मुझे बताना है कि जो 14 states को recently जुलाई 2022 में ये दिया गया है, what exactly is the amount of that? तो आप देख सकते हैं कि एग्जाम के अंदर हमेशा इन अमाउंट के ऊपर क्वेश्चंस आते हैं, and that is why this question you are required to tell me that what exactly is the amount, and the right answer is 7183.42 crores. See guys, here the right answer is option 1, that is 7183.42 crore that has been released as the 4th monthly installment of the post devolution revenue deficit grant. ठीक है, so this is the right answer. Once again, all of you have answered the question correctly. Really glad to see this. Moving on to the next question. So the next question is on the CRISIL agency, which has really recently gave up the data about the India's GDP growth estimates, and you are required to tell me that what exactly is the India's GDP growth rate in the fiscal year 2023 as per this recent forecast given by the CRISIL. It is 7.4, 7.5, 7.3, 7.1 and 7.2%. A very halwa question guys. See, whenever you find such kind of questions, you are always required to bifurcate this particular data, because lot of organizations are there which give their data on the India's GDP growth forecast. For example, World Bank, IMF, ADB, and now we have seen that CRISIL has also given it, and here the right answer to the question is 7.3%, which is the recent data which is being provided by CRISIL. ठीक है जी, so here you can see that it is 7.3% in the fiscal year 2023. Earlier, the previous estimate of it was 7.8%. It has been reduced to 7.3% from the 7.8%. Moving on to the next question. Which of the following organizations or corporations has received patents from the Patent Office of the Government of India for nanotechnology based fertilizer with nano urea and nano DAP, diammonium phosphate? See guys, this is a really very important question. I'm marking the star here. This is the important question when we talk about the ARD part. ठीक है जी, तो यहाँ पर बात हो रही है नैनो टेक्नोलॉजी बेस्ड फर्टिलाइजर्स की, नैनो यूरिया की, नैनो DAP, that is diammonium phosphate की. So here the right answer to the question is IFFCO. So IFFCO is the right answer to the question. IFFCO stands for Indian Farmer Fertilizer Cooperative Limited, which has received the patent from the Patent Office of the Government of India. So well done Egon, Rahul, Nilesh, everybody is answering the question correctly. Let's move on to the next question. The next question is which of the following companies has taken over नीलाचल इस्पात निगम लिमिटेड? तो नीलाचल इस्पात निगम लिमिटेड को recently कौन सी कंट्री ने टेक ओवर किया है? And guys, here the right answer is टाटा स्टील लॉन्ग प्रोडक्ट्स लिमिटेड, जिन्होंने की This is the name of the organization which has recently taken over the NINL by acquiring 93.7% of the shares of the NINL. So I hope that this is clear. The question number 98. Let's move on to the next question. So the next question is on the Milma's Ernakulam Dairy. See, this is set to become India's first fully solar powered plant. So that is the reason that why this particular question is important, and you are required to tell me that this particular power plant will be funded by which of the following organizations. You are just required to tell me the name of the organization which is going to fund the Milma Ernakulam Dairy, that is India's first fully solar power plant. And this is what is making it important from the exam point of view, because it is the first fully solar power plant. And guys, here when I talk about the right answer, the right answer is National Dairy Development Board, which is going to provide the funding to it. Moving on to the next question, India's first national coalition platform for the urban nature based solutions. तो ये जो है हमारा प्लेटफॉर्म रिसेंटली इसको लॉन्च किया गया था, एंड जस्ट यू आर रिक्वायर्ड टू टेल मी द नेम ऑफ द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन व्हिच हैज कम अप विद दिस काइंड ऑफ प्लेटफॉर्म. तो ये इंडिया का पहला नेशनल कोalition प्लेटफॉर्म है. दैट इज व्हाई इट इज रियली वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. इट इज बीन लॉन्च्ड फॉर अर्बन नेचर बेस्ड सॉल्यूशंस. एंड गाइस, हियर द राइट आंसर टू द क्वेश्चन इज both A and B, that is WRI and National Institute of Urban Affairs Climate Center for the series cities. ठीक है जी, so that is the right answer. Moving on to the next question, and the next question is on, you are required to tell me that which of the following Indian banks has recently partnered with the Kerala Forest and Wildlife Department to enable the digital collection of the payments at ecotourism centers. तो आपको मुझे जस्ट बताना है उस पर्टिकुलर बैंक का नाम जिसने की रिसेंटली यहां पर एमओयू साइन किया है केरला के वाइल्ड लाइफ फॉरेस्ट और वाइल्ड लाइफ डिपार्टमेंट के साथ. एंड हियर द राइट आंसर इज साउथ इंडियन बैंक. So South Indian Bank is the right answer to this question. Now the next question. तो recently यहाँ पर in one of the companies have signed an MOU with the ISC Bengaluru, and they have announced to set up a center of excellence in order to facilitate research in the areas of network robotics. So guys, क्या है? It is none other than the company major which was into the mobile phone making earlier, but now it has been faded, but still it is basically working in these kind of parameters, that is of the network robotics. And the right answer to the question is Nokia. So question number 102, the right answer is Nokia. Moving on to the next question. You are able to tell me the first state in India to have exclusive research and development policy. Just tell me the name of the Indian state जो कि इंडिया की पहली स्टेट बनी है जिसने अपनी पहली exclusive research and development policy को लॉन्च किया है, and this is none other than Karnataka. So Karnataka is the name of the Indian state that has come up with such kind of initiative. Let's move on to the next question. So the next question is, Google has recently announced a startup school initiative. A startup school India initiative for the small city entrepreneurs. तो ये जो small city entrepreneurs है, सी हमने इसके पहले पढ़ा कि it is going to target 10,000 startups. And now the next question is that ये जो प्रोग्राम होगा ये basically कितने weeks का होगा, and the duration can also be asked in the exam. And here the right answer is basically option C, that is 9 weeks. As you can see here that it is a 9-week program, and Google has announced, and it is going to target 10,000 startups in tier 2 and the tier 3 cities, which can also be asked in the exam. Now the next question, which of the following Indian government has launched a new scheme that is earn with learn? See, एक earn with learn नाम की scheme launch की है. What is the reason behind that? The reason behind that is to bring back those people who are dropped out of the schools during the pandemic. And guys, here the options are Manipur, Assam, Nagaland, Tripura and Meghalaya. So you are just required to focus on this, the earn with learn. किसने launch किया है? It is basically an initiative of the Tripura state government, and that is the right answer to this question. Now you are required to tell me the name of the e-learning portal which has been recently launched by the Department of Post, which has been launched recently. So what is the right answer? It's Dak Karmayogi, Swayam, Diksha, E-Shod, Sindhu, or none of the above. And guys, when I talk about this e-learning portal, it is a very important portal, and that is why we are bringing such kind of question for all of you. And here the right answer to the question is Dak Karma Yogi, which has been launched on the lines of the mission Karma Yogi. ठीक है जी, moving on to the next question. The next question is on the second phase of GOAL program, which stands for Going Online as Leaders. तो बेसिकली क्या है उन पर्टिकुलर ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस का नाम जिन्होंने इसको लॉन्च किया है? सो दिस इज बेसिकली मेटा एंड द मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ ट्राइबल अफेयर्स, जिन्होंने मिलकर इस पर्टिकुलर इनिशिएटिव को लॉन्च किया है, दैट इज गोइंग ऑनलाइन एज लीडर्स. एंड देयर वाज अ क्वेश्चन ऑन दिस टॉपिक इन द आरबीआई ग्रेड बी 2019 phase 2 exam. ठीक है जी, that was the question about the goal 1, and now the second phase of it has been started. That is why it is really important. Now the next question, you are required to tell me the name of the Indian state which has signed an MOU with the Canara Bank to form and credit link 2510 joint liability groups in which of the following states? So quickly tell me what is the right answer. Is it Odisha, Karnataka, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh or Tamil Nadu? You are just required to tell me कि नाबार्ड ने कौन से particular स्टेट के साथ ये एमओयू साइन किया है, एंड हियर द राइट आंसर टू द क्वेश्चन इज कर्नाटका. सो कर्नाटका गवर्नमेंट के साथ ये साइन हुआ है. लेट्स मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन, एंड द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज व्हिच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग ऑर्गेनाइजेशन बैंक्स हैज अप्रूव्ड अ USD 1 बिलियन लोन फॉर द इंडियाज हेल्थ सेक्टर. तो इंडिया की हेल्थ सेक्टर के लिए इसमें से कौन सी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है व्हिच इज गोइंग टू लेंड इंडिया $1 billion? And guys, here the right answer to the question is World Bank. See guys, we are basically hurrying up because you have already covered this particular part. I have already covered them in the top 50 MCQs for the month of July 2022, and to save your time as well, we are basically in the highest gear for this particular part. And now let's move on to the next question. The next question is on the 3-day grand hackathon to promote e-commerce in the agri sector has been recently organized, and you are required to tell me कि इनमें से कौन सी organization or ministries हैं which were basically behind this 3-day grand hackathon to promote e-commerce in the agri sector. Very important question from the NABARD point of view, and here the right answer to the question is both A and B, that is ONDC and the National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. So that is the right answer to the question number 110 is option D, that is both A and B. Next question. The next question is on the Pariksha Sangam. So guys, quickly come towards this particular part. You are required to tell me इसमें से कौन सी जो statement है it is correctly mentioned with regard to the Pariksha Sangam. Which of the following portals are being correctly mentioned with regards to the Pariksha Sangam? Is it Ganga, Yamuna, Godavari, both A and B, or all A, B and C? A very important initiative recently launched, and guys, here the right answer is option D, that is both A and B. As you can see that when we talk about these kind of portals, these portals under the Pariksha Sangam, they are having basically three important portals, that is Ganga, Yamuna and Saraswati. Ganga for schools, Yamuna for regional offices, and Saraswati for the head offices. So that is the right answer to this question. So here you can see the whole mind map, a very beautiful mind map which has been produced for all of you to cover the Pariksha Sangam initiative, which is an initiative of the Central Board of Secondary Education. Let's move on to the next question. So the next question is the first India Animal Health Summit. So quickly tell me कि इनमें से कौन सी जगह पर first India Animal Health Summit recently organized की गई थी? And here the right answer is option B, that is New Delhi. So the purpose was to understand the significance of the animal health, and that is why this particular summit was held. Let's move on to the next question. So the next question is on which one of the following Indian states? See, recently one of the state has become the first state in India to connect one district, one product mart with the open network for the digital commerce. So ONDC के साथ अपने one district, one mart को इन्होंने basically merge किया है, and here you are required to tell me कि क्या है उस state का नाम. And here guys, the right answer to the question is Uttar Pradesh, which has come up with this kind of initiative, जिन्होंने ONDC को यहाँ पर merge किया है one district, one product mart के साथ. ठीक है, move on to the next question. So what is the national target of India for the elimination of the tuberculosis in India? You are just required to tell me that what exactly is the year. See, we all know that recently the TB, that is tuberculosis, was recently in the news. So just tell me that what is the year by which India is targeting to eliminate the TB from the India, and the right answer to the question is year 2025, by which we will be eliminating the tuberculosis from India. Moving on to the next question. So the next question is on the TB हारेगा देश जीतेगा कैंपेन. सो गाइस, क्विकली टेल मी व्हाट इज द राइट आंसर. कौन सी इसमें से ईयर है जिसके अंदर ये कैंपेन लॉन्च किया गया था? दैट इज टीबी हारेगा देश जीतेगा कैंपेन. एंड हियर गाइस, द राइट आंसर इज 2019, in which this particular campaign was being launched by the government of India, and it is an initiative of Ministry of Health and Family Welfare launched in year 2019. So that is what you are required to remember from the exam point of view. Moving on to the next question. Next question is on Padma. Padma stands for Payroll Automation for the Disbursement of the Monthly Allowances. तो आपको ये मुझे बताना है कि जो पद्मा है ये basically it has been launched for which of the following armed forces personnel. ये किसके लिए लॉन्च किया गया है? And guys, here the right answer is Indian Coast Guard, जिसके लिए पद्मा को लॉन्च किया है. The purpose is to provide seamless and timely dispersal of the pay and allowances to the Indian Coast Guard personnel, ताकि उनको seamless और timely pay और allowances मिल सके. That is why this particular initiative has been taken for the Indian Coast Guard. पद्मा का एक्रोनिम है ये गाइस, उसकी फुल फॉर्म याद रखना मत भूलिएगा. Moving on to the next question, and the next question is the Star Health and Allied Insurance has decided to use which of the following banks platform to distribute health insurance? It is IDFC First Bank, IndusInd Bank, or ICICI Bank, Karur Vysya Bank, or the IDBI Bank Limited. And here guys, the right answer to the question is IDFC First Bank Limited, which is the right answer. So now we have already headed towards the GA part of the today's session. See, right now we are covering the general awareness part. We are done with the ESA current affairs. Now we are into the GA part. So now let's be more quick in answering the questions which are really important from the exam point of view. Moving on to the next question. NASA ने अपना कैप्स्टोन मिशन लॉन्च किया गया, कौन सी आउटर बॉडी के लिए लॉन्च किया? रिसेंटली मैंने आपको टॉप 100 MCQs के अंदर बताया था that it has been launched for the moon. तो मून के लिए इस पर्टिकुलर इनिशिएटिव को लॉन्च किया है नासा ने, अ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इनिशिएटिव. लेट्स मूव ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. नाउ द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज ऑन बोलाद तुर्लीखानोव कप. ये कौन सी स्पोर्ट से इनिशिएटेड है, ये कौन से स्पोर्ट से एसोसिएटेड है? दैट इज व्हाट यू आर रिक्वायर्ड टू टेल मी. इज इट वेट लिफ्टिंग, रेसलिंग, बॉक्सिंग, शूटिंग एंड आर्चरी? इट इज बेसिकली लिटरली अ वेरी टिपिकल नेम, बट यू आर रियली रिक्वायर्ड टू रिमेंबर फ्रॉम द एग्जाम पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू, क्योंकि हमने ऐसे ऐसे क्वेश्चन देखे अपने एग्जाम के अंदर. देयर वाज अ क्वेश्चन ऑन द संतोष ट्रॉफी इन द आरबीआई ग्रेड बी फेज 1 एग्जाम दिस ईयर. So here guys, the right answer is wrestling. This particular cup is basically related to wrestling. Do remember this part from the exam point of view. Let's move on to the next question. So the next question is about the Rim of the Pacific 2022 Rim Pack, which has been hosted by US Navy. You are required to tell me, to give me the location at which this particular Rim Pack was being hosted. See, whenever such kind of events are being taken place, you are always required to remember that what exactly is the venue of that. And when I talk about the right answer to this question, the right answer is Hawaii, United States. It was being launched in Hawaii, which is in the United States, where the Rim Pack 2022 was being held. ठीक है जी. Next question. Recently, the city of Osmanabad was being named as the Dharashiv. So guys, ये जो धाराशिव है, ये बेसिकली कौन सी स्टेट के अंदर है? अ वेरी हलवा क्वेश्चन फॉर ऑल ऑफ यू. धाराशिव कौन सी स्टेट के अंदर आता है? दैट इज व्हाट यू आर रिक्वायर्ड टू टेल मी गाइस. एंड हियर द राइट आंसर इज महाराष्ट्र. सो महाराष्ट्र के अंदर सिटी ऑफ ओस्मानाबाद है और औरंगाबाद है. सी, औरंगाबाद वाज बेसिकली रीनेम्ड टू Sambhajini Nagar, and now when I talk about the Osmanabad, it has been named to Dharashiv. That is a very not that much important, but still a very relevant question which can be asked from the exam. Now the next question, a very important and a very helpful question. Goods and services tax day guys, कौन सी डेट को होता है? Basically it is from the date of implementation, कि किस दिन ये लॉन्च हुआ था, किस दिन ये इंप्लीमेंट हुआ था इंडिया के अंदर, उसी दिन को मनाया जाता है जीएसटी डे. एंड हियर द राइट आंसर इज 1st of July. So 1st of July is the GST day being celebrated in India. Moving on to the next question. The next question is on इसरो ने रिसेंटली अनाउंस किया है अपना C53 मिशन. तो आपको मुझे बताना है कि जो C53 मिशन के अंदर हम जो अपना ये PSLV है, ठीक है जी, ये जो हमारी सैटेलाइट्स हैं, कि 3 सैटेलाइट, ये कौन सी कंट्री से जाएगी? द मिशन विल कैरी द 3 सैटेलाइट्स फ्रॉम विच ऑफ द फॉलोइंग कंट्रीज? Under the C53 mission, we are basically very much sure that these satellites will be launched, but ये satellites कौन सी country से belong करती है? That is what you are required to tell me. And here the right answer is Singapore. So basically these 3 satellites will be from the Singapore. So Rahul, Spandana, Nilesh, everybody has answered the question correctly. Let's move on to the next question. The next question, which of the following institutes will make recommendations for the appointment of financial institutions? तो जितनी भी major appointments होती है financial institution के अंदर, उनके लिए recommendation कौन करने वाला है? And here the right answer is Financial Services Institutions Bureau, that has been recently made. And guys, Bhanu Pratap Sharma will be the first chairman of this entity. So whenever new entity is being formed, you are required to remember that who will be the first chairman of that particular entity. Let's move on to the next question. The first edition of Campegoda International Award. तो आपको इस क्वेश्चन के अंदर मुझे बताना है कि इसमें से कौन से वो पर्सनैलिटीज हैं जिनको नॉमिनेट किया गया है, जिनको सेलेक्ट किया गया है इस पर्टिकुलर अवार्ड के लिए. The award is basically on the former Chief Minister of the Karnataka, and guys, here the right answer is option E, that is all A, B and C. So S.M. Krishna, who is the former minister, Narayan Murthy, Infosys co-founder, and there is Prakash Padukone, the former Indian badminton star. So this is the right answer. Let's move on to the next question. So the next question is on, once again, on the same initiative, that is Pariksha Sangam, that we have already covered. So we are already done with this particular question guys, and the right answer to this question was both A and B were correct, as Ganga and Yamuna are correct. So when I talk about the regional offices, sorry, for the head offices, it is Saraswati and not Godavari. So that is why this is the right answer. Let's move on to the next question. So next question, इंडियन बैंक ने गाइस रिसेंटली एक MOU साइन किया था, और आपको मुझे बताना है कि कौन सी स्टेट गवर्नमेंट के साथ किया है इसमें से ये MOU to distribute the mobile phones to consumers through the e-UPI system. तो बेसिकली e-UPI सिस्टम के जरिए हम ये पर्टिकुलर मोबाइल फोन्स और टैबलेट्स को डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करने वाले हैं. बट व्हाट इज द नेम ऑफ द स्टेट? द नेम ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर स्टेट इज Haryana. So Haryana has taken this kind of initiative along with the Indian Bank. Now the next question is on the switch. See, this is basically you are required to tell me कि ये जो switch नाम का प्रोडक्ट है ये कौन सी कंपनी ने लॉन्च किया है. इसके बारे में बताया तो इट इज अ कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव मोटर इंश्योरेंस प्रोडक्ट अंडर द इंश्योरेंस रेगुलेटरी एंड डेवलपमेंट अथॉरिटी ऑफ इंडियाज सैंडबॉक्स इनिशिएटिव. तो आपको मुझे बताना है कि स्विच को बेसिकली लॉन्च किसने किया है. एंड गाइस हियर द राइट आंसर इज एडल्विस जनरल इंश्योरेंस व्हिच हैज बेसिकली कम अप विद द स्विच व्हिच इज अ कॉम्प्रिहेंसिव मोटर इंश्योरेंस प्रोडक्ट. Next question is on the World Zoonosis. That we always tell you whenever you find a question on the important day, you are required to remember that what exactly the date on which it is being celebrated, and the second important thing is the theme. Theme क्या है उसकी? So guys, when I talk about the right answer to the World Zoonosis Day, it is being celebrated every year on 2nd of July. So 2nd of July को हर साल बनाया जाता है World Zoonosis Day, a very important day, and guys that is why you are required to remember. Let's move on to the next question. So the next question is, इनमें से आपको बताना है कि कौन सी वो पर्सनालिटी है जिसको रिसेंटली अपॉइंट किया गया है एज अ फोर्स कमांडर ऑफ द यूनाइटेड नेशंस मिशन इन द साउथ सुडान. सो हु अमंग द फॉलोइंग हैज बीन अपॉइंटेड? एंड हियर द राइट आंसर इज Lieutenant General Mohan Subramanian. So Lieutenant General Mohan Subramanian is the right answer, who has been appointed as the force commander of the United Nations mission in the South Sudan. ठीक है जी. Now the next question: which of the following states has become the first state in India to connect the one district one product mart with the ONDC? वो ऐसी कौन सी स्टेट है जिसने की रिसेंटली इस पर्टिकुलर चीज को लॉन्च किया है? And here the right answer is उत्तर प्रदेश. That is the right answer. Moving on to the next question. So here we all know that mathematician Marina Vyazowska has been announced as the second woman ever to win the Fields Medal. Fields Medal is being given for the field of mathematics. ठीक है जी. So आपको मुझे बताना है कि वो basically कौन सी country से belong करते हैं. So this particular personality belongs to which of the following countries? And the right answer to this question is South Korea. So she is basically from the South Korea. ठीक है जी. Moving on to the next question. So the first sports city was being launched recently by the Shikhar Dhawan. ठीक है. So Indian cricketer Shikhar Dhawan has recently launched with the first sports city. You are required to tell me कि इसमें से कौन सी basically entities हैं जिन्होंने collaborate किया है for such kind of cities. And here guys the right answer to the question is both A and C. That is the World in One Metaverse and the Bliv Club. So these are the two organizations, entities which have come together in order to launch the first sports city. I hope this is clear. Let's move on to the next question. So the next question is, you are required to tell me इनमें से कौन सी organization है जिसने की recently इंडिया के अंदर पहला फैसिलिटी लॉन्च किया है फॉर द 3D प्रिंटेड रॉकेट इंजन्स. तो इंडिया का पहला 3D प्रिंटेड रॉकेट इंजन जो कि IIT मद्रास रिसर्च पार्क में लॉन्च हुआ है इन द चेन्नई तमिलनाडु. यू आर रिक्वायर्ड टू टेल मी कि इसमें से किसने उसको लॉन्च किया है. So guys, here the right answer to the question is Agnikul Cosmos, which has come up with such kind of initiative, and they have basically launched India's first facility for the 3D printed rocket engines. Moving on to the next question, the world's fastest graphic DRAM chip. See, whenever such kind of you are finding such kind of acronyms, you are always required to remember that what exactly their full form is all about. For example, I already told you that there was a question on the Deshiya Stack portal which was being launched during the budget, and that was a question on that in the RBI Grade B Phase 1 exam. So when I talk about this question is asking you about that what does D stands for in the DRAM chips. The chip which is being basically developed by Samsung, and here D stands for dynamic. So जब हम बात करते हैं पूरी DRAM की full form की, here DRAM stands for dynamic random access memory. So that is the right answer to the question. Now guys, please tell me World Youth Skills Day कौन सी डेट को सेलिब्रेट किया जाता है? You all are the youth of our nation, and when are we celebrating the World Youth Skills Day? The right answer is 15th of July. So 15th of July is the right answer. And what is the theme? We always tell you important day आती है तो डेट और थीम दोनों चीजें याद रखनी है. डेट हमने देखा 15 जुलाई is the right answer. What is the theme? The theme is basically transforming youth skills for the future. ठीक है जी. Moving on to the next question. The next question is on the world's best SME bank. Recently, one of the bank was being named and declared as the world best SME bank. And what exactly is the name of that bank that you are required to tell me? And here, guys, the name of that bank is DBS Bank, which has been declared as the world's best SME bank by the Euromoney. ठीक है जी. Next question. तो पहली कल्चरल और टूरिज्म कैपिटल SCO, दैट इज शंघाई कोऑपरेशन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन की कौन सी होने वाली है? दैट इज व्हाट यू आर रिक्वायर्ड टू टेल मी. In the very first cultural and tourism capital of SCO, and guys, here the right answer is Varanasi. So Varanasi in the Uttar Pradesh will be the SCO's first cultural and tourism capital. And once again, this is what is making this particular question A very important question which can be asked from the exam point of view. Next question, you are required to tell me the Indian state which has become the first state in the country to have its own internet service. Earlier we have studied that India की पहली state जिसकी अपनी exclusively research and development policy आई है, but यहाँ पर एक और state है ऐसी जिसने की अपने ही internet service को launch किया है, and the name of that particular state is Kerala. So Kerala has come up with this kind of initiative, and that is the right answer to this question. Now guys, let's talk about the world's 50 greatest places 2022, which is being launched by Time magazine. Say we have already covered this question, as I told you in the reports and indices part. See, reports and indices के अंदर हमने ये discuss किया था the world's 50 greatest places of 2020 report, and if you remember that particular question, then you will basically answer this question correctly. The question number 140, guys, the right answer is both A and B. That is Ahmedabad in Gujarat and Kerala, both are the right answer which are in the on this particular list which is being released by the Time magazine. ठीक है जी, this is the right answer. Let's move on to the next question, and the next question is you are required to tell me the name of the department which has recently come up with a mascot, that is Jagriti. तो जागृति mascot जो है recently launch किया था, आपको मुझे बताना है कि इसमें से कौन सी डिपार्टमेंट या ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ने लॉन्च किया है. And here guys, the right answer is Department of Consumer Affairs which has come up with the Jagriti. See, as we all know that जागो ग्राहक जागो, तो आप इसको याद सकते हैं जागृति mascot launched by Department of Consumer Affairs. ठीक है जी, that is the right answer. Let's move on to the next question. You are required to tell me that India is set to get its first ever underwater train. तो इंडिया की जो पहली अंडरवाटर ट्रेन है ये कौन सी जगह पर आने वाली है? Is it कोलकाता, कोची or Mumbai, Chennai, or none of the above? And guys, a very easy question, a very important one, very probable to be asked in the exam. Underwater train India की पहली, and here it will basically in Kolkata. So कोलकाता के अंदर आने वाली है इंडिया की पहली अंडरवाटर ट्रेन by year 2023. ठीक है जी, याद रखिएगा टाइम. नाउ द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन इज ऑन द नमसाई डिक्लेरेशन. तो नमसाई डिक्लेरेशन को रिसेंटली यहां पर साइन किया गया था असम ने, और आपको बताना है कि कौन सी स्टेट के साथ इसको साइन किया है. Basically, to resolve the border disputes, they have signed a declaration which has been titled as the Namsai Declaration. So guys, here the name of that state with which Assam has signed this declaration, it is basically Arunachal Pradesh, which has come up with this kind of initiative. ठीक है? Now the next question. Here once again there is an acronym that is I2U2 Leader Summit, और आपको मुझे बताना है कि इसमें से कौन सी कंट्री है which is not the part of the I2U2. Is it India, USA, UAE, Israel and Italy? See, if you remember about the I2U2, आपको उसकी full form याद है तो you will be able to answer this question, and if you have not read it, then it will be difficult for you to answer this question. So guys, when I talk about the right answer is basically Italy, जो कि है इस क्वेश्चन का सही आंसर. ठीक है, तो I2U2 की फुल फॉर्म देखिए तो इट इज इंडिया, इजराइल, यूएई, यूएसए, दैट इज I2U2. Two countries starting with the letter of I, two countries starting with the letter of U, that is USA and UAE and India and Israel. That is the right answer to this question. Now the next question, you are required to tell me that which of the following institute has been recently awarded with the Sardar Patel Outstanding Iker Institute Award. Iker, that is Indian Council of Agriculture Research, and that is why it is important for the ARD part. And guys, when I talk about the right answer कि कौन से इंस्टीट्यूट को सरदार पटेल आउटस्टैंडिंग अवार्ड Icon Institute Award 2021 मिला है, and guys, here the right answer to the question is National Academy for the Agriculture Research Management. That is what the right answer to this question, that is NAARM. So very well done guys, all of you are really doing well in this particular session. Let's move on to the next question. Next question is CEO of the National Stock Exchange India Limited. We all know that appointments are very important, and that's why there is a very important appointment here, that is about the CEO of the National Stock Exchange. And here the right answer is Ashish Chauhan, who has been recently appointed as the CEO of National Stock Exchange Limited. Now the next question. The next question is on one of the initiative taken by one of the insurance company, that is PAYD. That is PAYD, that stands for Pay as You Drive. तो आपको मुझे बताना है कि इनमें से कौन सी वो इंश्योरेंस कंपनीज है जिन्होंने इसको लॉन्च किया है. PAYD, that is Pay as You Drive. And guys, here the right answer to the question is गो डिजिट जनरल इंश्योरेंस, जिसने कि इसको लॉन्च किया है. तो हम देख सकते हैं यहाँ पे गो डिजिट जनरल इंश्योरेंस हैज बेसिकली लॉन्च्ड पे एज यू ड्राइव, दैट इज PAYD. तो ऐसे एक्रोनिम्स की फुल फॉर्म्स को हमेशा याद रखिए बिकॉज इट कैन बी अ प्रोबेबल क्वेश्चन इन द एग्जाम. ठीक है, मूविंग ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन. सो वी ऑल नो दैट इंडियन ग्रैंड मास्टर आर प्रगनंदा हैज रिसेंटली वन द ओपन ए सेक्शन एट द 15th इंटरनेशनल चेस ओपन फेस्टिवल. और आपको मुझे बताना है उस प्लेयर का नाम जिसको उन्होंने defeat किया है. See, we always tell you that you are not just required to remember only the name of the winner, you are also required to remember the name of that particular person who has been defeated. And guys, here the right answer to the question is Alexander Predke, who has been defeated by R. Pragnanda to win this particular championship. Now guys, the 149th question of our today's session, which is here on your screen, and here you are required to tell me that who among the following has recently defeated the Chinese player, that is Wang Ziyi, to clinch the Singapore Open 2022. So one of the Indian has recently made us proud by winning the Singapore Open 2022 Super 500 Elite title, and you are just required to tell me the name of that person who has defeated that particular person to win this title. And to the question number 149, the right answer is option C, that is Pushalla Venkat Sindhu, that is PV Sindhu the Great, who has won the Singapore Open 2022. Now guys, we are heading towards the last question of our today's session, and the question is on a very important personality, that is Nelson Mandela जी. तो आपको मुझे बताना है कि नेल्सन मंडेला इंटरनेशनल डे कौन सी पर्टिकुलर डेट को सेलिब्रेट किया जाता है. Is it option is 16 July, 8 July, 15 July, 12 July, or the none of the above? And guys, here when I talk about the right answer, the right answer to the question is none of the above, because it is not being celebrated on 16th, 8th, 15th or 12th July. It is basically being celebrated on the 18th of July, and this year the theme of this particular day was do what you can with what you have and where you are. A very important message that they are giving with this particular Nelson Mandela International Day 2022. So guys, that was all from the today's session. We have covered all the important sections. That is basically the reports and indices, government schemes, ESI current affairs, general awareness, banking awareness, and apart from that, ARD current affairs. So guys, that was all from the today's session, and if you guys are having any queries, you can just ask in the comment section, or you can also share it on the hello@edutap.co.in, and you can also call us at 8146207241. So guys, I really believe कि ये particular session आपको बहुत ही पसंद आया होगा. You must have liked this particular session, and apart from that, you are also requested to share your scores in the comment section. ठीक है, live chat box में नहीं, अपने comment section में बताइए कि what exactly was your score out of 150 in this particular session. And if you have got a low score, do not worry about it. Don't get disheartened, because you will be getting more and more chances to elevate your scores. ठीक है, so all of you are requested to just tell me your scores in the comment section in this particular part. ठीक है जी. So I hope that all of this is really very much clear to all of you, and you must have enjoyed this session. So guys, till we are into the next session, till then, stay happy, stay healthy. Wish you all happy.